Hello, hello, can you hear me? We are back for another stream here. We have a large, widespread tornado outbreak starting here probably in the next hour, I give or take. So it's going to be a long day here, guys. We're going to be here 10, 12 hours, wow, maybe longer.
If you're just not tuning in, we've got a tornado warning for Madison, St. Clair, St. Charles, and St. Louis counties. We've still got 1 million people inside of this tornado warning. I see you guys checking in on the WeatherWise app. Somebody out here says the sirens just stopped and it's eerily quiet outside. I just want to make sure everybody knows that just because the sirens stopped doesn't mean that we don't have a tornado warning anymore. It's still there. Here we've got a camera out here in St. Louis, by the way. This is also coming right towards, where the Y'all Squad is set up right now. So our Y'all Squad correspondent or our director, Dalton, is having to take shelter right now, but he put a camera up for us before he did that. This is a live view from near Busch Stadium in St. Louis right now. We've got a highly dangerous situation unfolding in the St. Louis metro area. We've got a tornado warning active until 1:15 Central Time. Radar is indicating rotation right now over the Overland and St. Anne areas, moving east at 40 miles per hour. If you're anywhere near Interstate 70 or in the downtown St. Louis area, you need to be in an interior room on your lowest floor immediately. This is a part of a massive volatile squall line that's pushing into the mid-Mississippi Valley. The impacts are going to be severe.
Chris, here. We are live now.
It's already starting to get a little windy. You can see the flags over here on the Busch Stadium here pointing towards the storm. Okay, so the storm is ingesting warm air. That's actually a really cool indicator that we have right there. Storm's going to be coming in from this direction, and the flags are pointing towards it. So we're going to keep that over there on the sidebar. Yeah, the Y'all Squad is in downtown St. Louis right now. I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back over here to radar. Right here's your hook. This is the area that we're watching for a potential tornado. We still don't have anything confirmed on the ground, but we believe that could be coming sooner rather than later. Somebody out here says my office doesn't have a safe spot. You just want to get as far away from windows as you can, and I think you're going to be just fine. Yes, this is going to be going down towards Edwardsville. It's going to be going down towards areas north of Belleville as well. Let's take a look at this from Freddie McKinney's point of view.
Sneak our way into traffic here.
Yeah, these guys are trying to fight the traffic jams to go look at the tornado. It's a unique thing. We don't often see the storm chasers in the middle of a major metro area.
Before people start.
But it adds a new challenge for them, that's for sure.
Stupid stuff people do sometimes. So.
Yeah, this thing's moving east at like 40 miles per hour, so it's also going to be hard to keep up with just because of that.
To downtown St. Louis, this tornado warning supercell is working its way right into downtown. Right now, it looks like.
That's right.
It doesn't look like anything is all that imminent just from.
So we're going to come back over here to the radar. Your area of rotation is right here between Clayton and Jefferson, over here towards Granite City and St. Louis. You guys are next in line. Again, we are encouraging everyone to take shelter right now. Hopefully,
the St. Charles area are out. I don't know if it's due to high winds or a possible tornado.
Into hopefully those were useful just now. You got alerted, you got to shelter. Now you're watching, you're waiting for the all clear, right? Unfortunately, I've got to reiterate what Andy said earlier. It might be a while before you get the all clear, okay? There's going to be moments of peace between these storms, but there are going to be multiple storms today in St. Louis. It's not going to be a one and done thing. In fact, this boundary is going to be likely the main event, as the day goes on. So we're going to continue to watch these storms as they move east. We also have a severe thunderstorm.
Good thing I don't have any severe weather near my area because the terminal radar that's just to my southeast is down.
2, 1. Well, that was pretty close. That was pretty close, and it doesn't necessarily include Terre Haute, but it is the area is just right to the west of it. Martinsville, Newton, and Robinson, you guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning. Edgar and Jasper counties, you guys have got 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds coming in. Additionally, we've got a pretty good storm that's just popped up down here. It's coming into Owensboro, Kentucky. By the way, the risk has kind of shifted to the south a little bit. It looks like parts of Kentucky and southern Illinois are going to be a little bit more impacted today. But Owensboro, you guys are in a severe thunderstorm warning now for 1-inch hail and some gusty winds. Okay, so we're going to watch this storm approach from the southwest. There's no need to get in the basement just yet for this storm, but you definitely do need to, get indoors and away from windows because we've got that hail coming in. On top of all this, we've got a severe thunderstorm in Boonville, Indiana as well. And you can't forget about Effingham, Illinois. You guys are getting plumb smacked right now by 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. But of course, all eyes are on St. Louis. Look at all these dots on the map. You can emote now from the WeatherWise app from your shared location if you want to. If you got a pro subscription, if that helps you see where you are on the map. But the focus right now has got to be on the rotation down here between Granite City, Jennings, and St. Louis. Okay, this is what we're seeing from Freddie McKinney's point of view right now. Look at those dark, ominous skies right behind him here. What we're looking at there is a highly dangerous situation unfolding in the St. Louis metro. It's covering over 1 million people. We got 1 million people out here that should be taking shelter right now in St. Louis, St. Charles, Madison counties. The radar showing rotation. It's still moving east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour near Venta Park or Veneta Park and University City. Scanner traffic is indicating that the tornado sirens are blaring as far north as up there past Florissant, and as far south as almost towards I forget the name of the area, but the sirens are going off across the entire metro area, even just outside of the warning polygon. And I would say that if you can hear the sirens, just go ahead and take shelter out here just to be safe. If this thing is producing a tornado, or if it's going to produce a tornado, it will likely be small, okay? This is the first storm of many storms today. A later storm could make a big tornado, but this one looks like it would be a small tornado. Yeah. But even small tornadoes can do significant damage to your home or your office building or wherever you are, okay? So we have multiple storm chasers in the area, including Freddie McKinney, which is in Richmond Heights, looking at some extremely dark, ominous skies as the
a new tornado watch has been issued.
And of course,
new tornado watch in Illinois
Stadium, showing that storm come in as well.
A new tornado watch has been issued
at the Y'all Squad down there, giving us a live view of Busch Stadium and as he takes shelter. If you know anybody out here in the affected areas today, please share the stream with them. We're going to be live all day, and it should be a pretty nuts kind of day. Like, it should be pretty active out there. We just got a tornado watch, and they're saying several tornadoes are likely. Several tornadoes are likely today. Tornado watch is going to go on until 9 p.m. Central in St. Louis. 9 p.m. Central in St. Louis. Brad Arnold's out there. Yeah, Brad Arnold is, he's just past St. Louis. He's actually in Illinois right now. Which, by the way, if I'm not looking at the right thing, if you want me to look at a different radar or a different chaser or whatever, you guys have access to this for free in the WeatherWise app. There it is. There's your tornado watch. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for the next 8 hours for the areas flashing in the red box there.
To Indiana. That's crazy. That's a bit.
We've got places like Belleville, O'Fallon, Granite City, Edwardsville, Alton, and Carbondale in the path here. And there's 177 of you guys watching right now in the path of this tornado watch as well. I'm going to ring the bell. If you're checked in on WeatherWise and you've got y'all know, you just heard that song come through a second time through your app, that means you're within the bounds of the tornado watch. And that means that you've got to start preparing to take shelter. You could be under a tornado warning at some point today, like our friends over here in St. Louis.
I'll be right back in about 5 minutes.
Dang. Again, the rotation is going right over town right now. We're not able to see a whole lot of detail that is rotating is literally going to go right over this, right over Busch Stadium here. So we're going to keep a close eye on this camera as the storm moves east. You can see that the flags are still kind of pointing towards the storm here. The storm's coming in this way, like towards the camera, right? Notice how these flags are still pointing towards it. So that means the storm is still pulling in new warm air. When the flags flip around, now we're outflow dominant, okay? Now we're no longer in the inflow zone. And if we haven't seen a tornado by that point, we're probably going to be fine in this area. Because outside of the tornado threat for this storm in particular, it's really not a very strong storm at all. It's actually kind of weak. We do have some gusty winds. See here from this camera in Pine Lawn. But yeah, this is going to continue to push east into the greater St. Louis area. And the skies are certainly dark out there, that's for sure. Andy's calling. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey Ryan, yeah, I'm looking at that area back behind the tornado warning. You can see that boundary drapes pretty far to the west southwest there, basically all the way through central Missouri. But these couple of storms, especially the one near Union, you can watch how they're actually really sucking the boundary up into that inflow region. Kind of looks like multiple tails going into the storms. And the one near Leslie into Union in Franklin County does look currently the strongest. The biggest saving grace here is most of these storms are weak right now. We don't have really solid hail cores with them. We don't have anything indicative of a severe level storm that would be able to take in a lot more mass just due to its size and its strength at that time. So we have to watch if these start to boundary is, literally the delineator between the unstable air at the surface that would result in a tornado, touching the ground essentially because the air is rising from the ground up. And on the other side, where the air is rising from, 500 feet up or 1,000 feet up is where it starts to rise, not necessarily at the surface where we would get our tornado. So we have to watch if those intensify because that will increase their chance to draw in that unstable air right from the surface. Watching those closely as a result.
All right, thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill. We're watching all these storms very closely. It's unfortunate, but we're going to have a train of storms capable of producing tornadoes coming through here and throughout the tornado watch area. Again, I want to show you where that tornado watch is. There's 600 of you guys checking in the WeatherWise app right now inside of that. The difference between a watch and a warning is with a watch, that means conditions are favorable for tornadoes. We don't necessarily have tornadoes in Springfield or Rolla just yet, right? Skies are actually clear. But later today, you might end up under a tornado warning, which is a little bit of a bigger deal, like our friends in St. Louis are right now. And that's when you've actually got to take shelter and you've got to get indoors, underground preferably, or into that lowest floor interior room and all that good stuff. So right now, we're continuing to watch the storm come in through the storm chaser points of view.
Right back
and we are
momentarily.
going to go ahead and
1 minute.
stay in our safe spots in St. Louis. Now, in Creve Coeur, in Florissant, and in Kirkwood and Chesterfield, you guys are all fine. You guys can come out of your safe spots. There's no need to be there at this point. The warning has been expired for you. But again, don't let your guard down. More storms are on the way. More storms are on the way. And this will not be the first, or this will not be the last tornado warning of the day for St. Louis, more than likely. If you are just now tuning in, we've got 800,000 people across St. Louis City that are under a tornado warning. Radar still shows rotation, but I want to take you out, and zoom you out a little bit and just show you the broad scale. Like, this is what we're talking about today. For the rest of the day, we've got a moderate risk of severe weather from Springfield to Illinois, almost back down to Springfield, Missouri, but we're kind of focused around the St. Louis area, points south, especially in the southeastern Missouri and extreme southern portions of Illinois and extreme western portions of Kentucky. The enhanced risk from Little Rock up to Indianapolis is also going to be an area that we've got to watch, but storms are going to grow up scale and they're going to stay quite strong even as we go into the overnight hours, and places like Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville, Clarksville, Tennessee, you guys could all get some pretty strong storms tonight as well. So we're going to be here for a long time tracking these storms. Again, if you know anybody in the path of these storms, consider sharing us out there. Put us in a group text with their family members or friends. Put us out there on Facebook, or just like the stream. It helps us get in front of people who otherwise wouldn't know about what's going on. Now let's talk to Andy.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, something else I want to point out that you probably didn't expect, but there are some pretty intense winds on the west side of the Chicago metro right now, actually, and that's from what we call a wake low. A wake low is literally in the wake of all of the precipitation that's moving through the backside of that. Sometimes, especially with these more rigorous convective systems, can have a lot of strong low-level winds that develop there, simply because there is a pressure gradient in place that's it's literally the center of the low that's pushing this thing forward. So we have up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts occurring in Aurora, Colorado, or not Colorado, Aurora, Illinois right now on the west side of the Chicago metro. Some of those wake low winds could move into the Chicago metro from the west, and they will be quite strong. So if you start hearing the loud wind gusting outside as this moves east and the precipitation stops in Chicago, that is the reason why we call that a wake low.
All right, thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill. Let's go back to St. Louis. Look at this. The skies are getting dark over here at Busch Stadium as we still have that tornado warning for the St. Louis metro area. We should still have about 800,000 people in their safe spots. They're doing a good job of shaving off the warning on the back end as people can come out. Okay, so you got the y'all clear in fluorescent. You've got the y'all clear back there in what is it, Kirkwood, Kirkville. But if you're in downtown St. Louis, you are still under a tornado warning, and the storm is still approaching from the west right now. We do have some rotation still indicated on radar, but it is not, we don't have a confirmed tornado just yet. We do not have a confirmed tornado just yet. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't happen here. It's moving pretty fast. Once again, pay attention to the flags here. You see the flags still pointing towards the storm. This is obviously the storm. If you needed that classification, this is still drawing in warm, moist air into it. Tornado is still possible with this as it moves in. Yeah, we're listening to the emergency scanners. Responders are reporting tornado sirens going off. People are running into buildings for shelter near Interstate 170 or in I-70. So people are at least taking the warning seriously here. Again, I am concerned a little bit about warning fatigue today. Warning fatigue in St. Louis. If you don't experience a tornado from this storm right here, or if you find this storm underwhelming, please do not disregard the next warning. If there's another storm that comes through later today with a better chance of producing a tornado or a larger tornado, we don't want you to think that they're all going to be the same. Okay. This is going to be a dangerous day in and around the St. Louis area. And if you're not in St. Louis, we are going to be covering you as well. But it's just right now, there's only one tornado warning in the entire United States. So we're obviously focusing on this right now. There will be lots more tornado warnings later, though. Again, if you are just now tuning in, we've got storms out there in Illinois, Kentucky. We're going to be making our rounds out there as well, but we're just trying to make sure we don't miss anything here as the tornado warning storm comes.
I'm concerned too.
Squad is stationed in St. Louis.
Really? Damn.
Today, and hopefully it will be helpful for you later today. But the reason that we're there is because we believe that there might be some tornadoes nearby, and we might actually have to, respond. Some places might get damaged today and stuff like that. So if you want to help us out with that, the y'allsquad.org is the place to do that. You can see that we've got pretty turbulent skies here with this shelf cloud that's moving in. This thing is still drawing in a bunch of warm air. I do believe at some point in the near future here, we'll see those flags flip and we'll start getting some outflow winds. And that's when the winds are really going to kick up and, start blowing a little bit faster here. But this is a live view, once again, of the storm coming into St. Louis. I'm going to put that back over there on the sidebar, and I'm going to go back to the radar here. And we're going to look here at the St. Louis area. Edwardsville, you guys are still under a tornado warning. And then Collinsville, and so is the Southern Illinois University area. They have taken downtown St. Louis out of the warning. They just moved downtown St. Louis out of the warning, so you guys are fine. If you are in Clayton, downtown St. Louis, or Kirkwood, you guys are fine. You can come out of your safe spots. There's still a storm coming in, as you can see here from this, but it's completely outflow dominant. Don't get me wrong, it's still ingesting warm air right now, but you can see once the storm actually starts hitting, it's just all going to be blowing one direction. We don't have that spin necessarily in this part of the storm here that's necessary for a tornado. That's a little bit off to the north, and that's going to be up here coming up towards the Collinsville and Edwardsville area. You guys need to be sheltered for about, let me see here, 14 more minutes. 14 more minutes. And again, let me zoom out here. There's already another storm looking pretty intense coming into the St. Louis area right now.
I'll just get some checks.
This one right here will probably end up getting a severe thunderstorm warning for it for Defiance up there towards Chesterfield. And this is what that looks like from Rob McVeigh's point of view.
Rice. Okay.
We are tracking a highly dangerous situation right now where we've got a train of storms heading towards the St. Louis metro. And this right here, you're looking at the second one that's forming up right now that's going to be coming in next.
Raising Cane's, and I get my first paycheck, I'm buying me a new desk.
So it's already looking pretty ominous out there.
I have to. Who's the one who did that? Me. And again, how old is this desk? Yeah. Why is my Doom opening on the other?
Once again, if you are just now tuning in, we've got that tornado warning up here just to the north of St. St. Louis, though. Here's another view of the storm from Granite City, Illinois, which is actually still in the tornado warning. So you guys need to be sheltering out there as well. Let me take a look at some of these other storms. I know you guys are itching to hear about it over here in Terre Haute. There's a pretty big storm coming into Terre Haute right now. I'm so shocked that you don't have a severe thunderstorm warning. They went ahead and went with a diet severe thunderstorm warning for Terre Haute and Brazil over here in Indiana. I think the storm that's coming in right now will feel severe to you, so get indoors and away from windows. Down here, though, in Illinois, coming towards the town of Robinson, we've got a strong area of winds and a tiny bit of rotation here coming out of Yale, moving towards Oblong, Robinson. This is why that severe thunderstorm warning has a tornado possible tag on it. A tornado is possible with this. And then I got to go down here into Kentucky, Owensboro, Kentucky. You guys have got a good hailstorm coming towards you right now. We're talking about quarter-size hail coming into the Owensboro, Kentucky area right now. And this is kind of like a similar story for you guys. There's not just going to be one storm today. There's not going to just be one storm in Owensboro today. Somebody said that they're hearing the thunder. Hail, no. Yeah, there will actually be hail in Owensboro. Look, at most of the people checking in right now are in St. Louis. I see you guys over there in Indianapolis. We'll be talking about you later. I see you in Louisville. I see you guys in Clarksville and Nashville. We'll be talking about you later. And then same thing for you guys in Springfield, Missouri. You guys are actually under the tornado watch right now, and that's going to go on for another 7 hours and 56 minutes. So right now, the reason why we're so hyper-focused on St. Louis is because that's where
there's
new
the
NVIDIA
highest, drivers.
Priority warning is right now. There's nobody else in the entire United States that's under a tornado warning right now, except for the greater St. Louis area, especially just to the north of town here between Edwardsville and Granite City. So we're still encouraging everyone to take shelter out here for the next 10 minutes. Can you do it? Can you take shelter for 10 minutes?
somewhere, guys. We're gonna kind of look up and down
Oh
the
yeah. I'll take some of those.
up and down the shelf, see if we can see anything like a little cut.
Yeah, West Kentucky might get some
This is
really
the shit
bad
I'm doing
storms
with the
tonight.
3D printer.
We're now casting at this point.
Driving a Toyota.
We're just follow along. We'll be relaying the warnings and watches as they come out.
That's like. No, I'm just
Also,
saying
real
if I get a
quick,
3D printer.
While we have a quick moment here, I would like to thank today's
No.
sponsor of the stream.
This is the Edwardsville area. Did I say something different? Edwardsville and Collinsville.
Oh.
If you're ever confused about the area that we're zoomed into, always look up here. This is not Kentucky. This is not Evansville. This is not Indiana. This is Illinois. Anytime I'm zoomed in, you can see this area right here. And it changes. So if I do go over to Kentucky or Indiana, you can see that updates in real time. Speaking of Kentucky, Owensboro, you are still under a severe thunderstorm warning for 9 more minutes. Brett Adair's got the drone in the air. Check it out.
How many? What the hell?
Brett Adair's got the drone in the air on the Granite City, Illinois storm. This is the tornado warning storm that's coming out of St. Louis right now. Look at that rising motion. The storm's still sucking up that warm, moist air pretty intensely. The good news is, so far, we haven't seen that organize into a very tight area of rotation just yet. We saw it happen earlier on the west side of St. Louis. It almost produced a tornado.
Okay.
Now, it looks like it might try to do it again. Look at how fast everything's moving.
What?
We've got a very, very potent atmosphere in place, guys. Like, if one of these storms gets organized today and takes advantage of this environment, it is going to be capable of producing a big, damaging tornado. I just want to be very clear about that.
Let's see if Doom will open up on my main monitor.
What, this one? Look right here. It's pinching off right there. Oh,
no, the fuck it won't.
That's where I'm looking. I was watching right back in here.
Yeah, it's getting it. It's getting it and digging it.
Oh, it's got a good RFD cut.
Well,
Look right here. Look right here with it rising and cutting and rolling down.
Oh, shit.
And also, you can see that the clouds are pretty low to the ground, too. We've got low. It's not going to take a lot of work for the tornado to reach the ground. So everything's kind of coming together today to present the higher-end tornado threat.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
And flood threat.
Oh, what the fuck is this resolution?
This is a live look at downtown St. Louis right now from a drone. You can see that, Brett was just pointing the camera the other way, and that's where the tornadic threat is right now. So it's good that, we had to literally turn the drone all the way around to see to St. Louis. You guys are pretty displaced from the tornadic threat at this point.
Oh, what the fuck? Why is the resolution so fucking ass?
Amazing shot here from
that's
Brett,
right,
by the way.
because I probably unplugged this monitor while it was running.
We do still have a tornado warning in effect just north of the St. Louis Metro and just east.
Dude,
this
my
is
fucking
mostly in
resolution
Illinois
was
now.
6.
Radar showing
Why
rotation
is it
near
640?
Granite City, which is where Brett is, and it's moving east at about
I'm playing
25 to 35 miles per hour. It's heading straight towards.
For some weird reason, I immediately assumed you were going to say the 6-7.
It might actually be allowed to expire here very soon. I don't know if they'll continue it, but the rotation is still there, so they might.
My mind kept saying, "Don't say it. Don't say it."
No, for some reason, Doom keeps switching to 640 or 640 by
actually wrap around
like
the
480
warm
or
inflow
something.
at the base of this storm, and that might actually encourage the Weather Service to, push that warning a little bit farther into Illinois, just in case. Just in case.
Holy crap, look above your head.
Oh.
You got very turbulent skies out there, that's for sure.
Ungular bore, baby.
You got stuff moving up, down, sideways. You got stuff over here.
But that thing wants to produce a tornado.
That's how you know you've got a big storm on your
A
hands.
thing wants to do it.
Hold on.
What I'm saying is, I'm not believing that that's the total. What I'm saying is, I'm believing that this may be very important for us in a little bit.
All right, so let's take a look at some of these other storms. Once again, Ferdinand in Du Bois and Perry counties in Indiana. You guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning. We've got 1-inch hail coming in. Also, Washington, Indiana, you guys are getting some hail. That's going to be moving towards Shoals here soon. We're talking about 1-inch hail there. And then additionally, Owensboro, Kentucky, you guys are still under that severe thunderstorm warning as well. The storm's coming in right now. It's going to be a brief one. Don't let your guard down. This will not be the last storm of the day. Again, we've got a huge area under a moderate and enhanced risk. The red area is a 4 out of 5. The orange area is a 3 out of 5. We are going to be locked in all day here as the storms continue to regenerate behind St. Louis. I want to go back to the region here and just show you what I'm talking about. By the way, thanks for checking in on the WeatherWise app. We see. If you want to put your dot on the map, you can do it for free. Download the WeatherWise app. Scan the QR code. I know over 50% of you guys are watching on the TV right now, so you pull out your phone, scan the QR code, and follow along with WeatherWise. It's free, and it's the best radar app. There's other ones out there. You got to pay $10 just to use, just to see the storm chasers. What are we doing? Save your $10. Go to the App Store and Google Play and get the
Wonder
the
because I had
sleeves on it.
HDR enabled.
WeatherWise.
I
Guess
don't
what?
like the sleeves on it.
Tomorrow was upgraded to a level 3 out of 5
Now-
enhanced risk.
Let's go back down in here to St. Louis. Again, we've been talking consistently now about how more storms are coming to St. Louis. The second one is gearing up right now. You see how it's got that deeper red, signature building right here east of Washington, moving up towards Defiance. That's going to continue to get deeper as it starts sucking up all that warm, moist, unstable air to the south. And notice how that down south here we've got nothing. The sun's
A new
coming out
flash
right now
flood
around the
warning
Mark
has
Twain
been
National
issued.
Forest, okay, that's baking the surface, heating it up, and then the surface.
Fuck, I'm
winds
dead,
are
I'm dead,
blowing
I'm dead, I'm
those,
dead. God
you know,
damn it.
Heat and moisture values into the storms, and they're just sucking them up, and they're going to kind of be like a machine that taps into all of this instability and dumps it onto the St. Louis area. Let's come back down here to Andy's Y'all Watch. We do think a severe thunderstorm warning is going to be needed here soon for Franklin, St. Charles, and Jefferson counties in Missouri. So another storm is about to get a severe thunderstorm warning here soon. So you guys need to be getting indoors and away from windows, or at least, making your precautions, making your preparations to do that very soon, because this storm's going to be nasty. Look at it.
Okay, so here's the base. Yeah, I think it's new scan just came in. Yeah, it was just contam. I was definitely just contam that.
Low cloud bases today. Very low. Ooh, Rob McBay's right on this one. Looks like there's a little bit of rotation on this as well. This is out here near Villa Ridge, Missouri. Of course, the storm doesn't even have a severe thunderstorm warning right now, so it's not necessarily severe, but that doesn't mean it can't spin up a quick tornado as it ingests that outflow boundary that's got draped along the south of it there. So that's why we're watching all the specific movements of the storm here as it goes over Rob McBay's point of view. This is, again, the second storm, the one that's west of St. Louis right now that's coming in over the next 45 minutes or so. It doesn't have a severe thunderstorm warning, but we're saying y'all watch out, because one's probably going to be coming out for it here in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll try that again in a minute. I think I was on a 4 out of 4 streak doing that, and I just ruined it. That was too soon. I knew
A
that
new
was too soon.
tornado warning.
A new
tornado warning has been issued.
Still under a severe thunderstorm warning. The hail's hitting right now. It's going to be letting
A
up
new
over the next
tornado
15
warning
minutes or
has been
so.
issued.
We did just get a new tornado warning for areas east of Edwardsville now. Okay, so they've extended this out here into Coon Station, Marie, and Kaufman. Okay, so this is the same storm that has been tornado warned, the one that we were just watching back there in St. Louis. That rotation is now moving past Granite City into the area between Collinsville and Edwardsville, and now moving over towards Ambara and Highland. Everybody needs to be taking shelter. There's 76,000 people in this warning, including people out there in Glen Carbon, Troy, Maryville, Marine, and Kaufman. This is a dangerous storm. It's not going to take much for it to produce a tornado here, right near where that rotation is. You guys saw how fast and turbulent the skies were. some of that horizontal spinning that we saw from Brett's feed can easily get tipped on its side and become a tornado in a matter of seconds. And sometimes that'll happen before you even see anything on the radar. So that's what we're concerned about over here as the storms continue to get stronger. We also have a very strong storm over here in Indiana between Jasper and Ferdinand. We've got a big, intense hail core down here near Holland, moving up towards Huntingburg, St. Anthony, Brettsville, and places like that. We've got 1.5-inch hail coming in. This is going to be damaging hail, so you guys need to be taking shelter, especially if you're out there around the Southridge High School or the Ferdinand Volunteer Fire Department. Yeah, apparently they've closed school in St. Louis today. Is that right? The school is closed in a lot of different St. Louis areas, and where school isn't necessarily closed, they're canceling after hours activities like ball games and stuff like that. And probably for the best. It's going to be a very stormy day in St. Louis. We're just getting started. We're just getting started with our train of severe storms that are going to be going through the St. Louis area. I do want to say some comforting words here. I don't think that this is going to be the end of the world. I don't think that we're definitely going to get a huge tornado that goes through St. Louis at some point today. It's just possible, right? And anytime it's possible, we've got to treat that with respect and hope for the best. But at the end of the day today, I think that I hope that we'll all go to sleep knowing that we were not scared and rather prepared, and we came out unscathed. But of course, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to watch every storm with a microscope. We are monitoring the situation like you wouldn't believe here. We've got the team of literally some of the best storm chasers on earth in and around St. Louis. We've got traffic cameras. We've got tower cameras. We've got a literal meteorological genius, Andy Hill, watching every frame of the radar. We've got our nonprofit organization. We've got Dalton on the ground in St. Louis. We were there yesterday. We handed out $50,000 worth of weather radios to get in front of this thing. We are ready, all right? And there's a lot of people involved in this. Nobody's going through this alone, all right? There's so many people involved in this. Everybody's looking out for you. Just stay tuned. We'll let you know what's going on as the storms continue to build up and move off to the east. And of course, we're going to be reaching out or watching out for you guys in Tennessee as well. There's just nothing going on right now. People are yelling at me in chat. Why aren't you talking about Memphis? Well, it's because you go have a picnic. All right, go enjoy the day. Nothing's going on in Memphis right now. Same thing for Little Rock up into Jonesboro. That could change later tonight, but right now we're still in the very early stages of this storm coming together. I'm going to zoom out here so everybody can see their emotes. There we go. It adds a lot of life to the map. If you've got a pro subscription, you can do that every 20 minutes. And we're going to add different, animations and stuff to that. The goal is to keep you locked in, keep you engaged so that you don't miss any warnings as they come out. Sirens in Glen Carbon. Somebody out here says the winds are picking up. Yeah, you can see that we do have some rotation here near the Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville. So this is a pretty dangerous storm coming together here, going towards Edwardsville and Troy, and it's going to continue to go down Interstate 70 towards Highland as well. We do have chasers on this. In fact, Freddie is right next to the rotation, so let's see what he's seeing. If he were to point us off to, out his out his driver's side window, you'd probably see a dark kind of lowering over there. But he's trying to get out of the trees right now. That's the main goal. Somebody says, am I cooked tonight? No, you're fine. Nobody's cooked. We still don't have a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm over here near St. Louis. It's getting stronger, though. And then I'm also watching these storms that are forming back here around Jefferson City. These are technically in the best environment right now to kind of rapidly intensify. So we'll see what happens with those as they go just to the north of Rolla. Brandon Kopic is out there. Brandon Kopic is at the gas station, taking pictures, doing the Brandon Kopic thing. Anytime the storm seeker is out there, it draws a little bit of a crowd, but he loves it. You know what I mean? He loves being storm chaser Brandon Kopic. But at some point here, he's going to be locked in chasing a tornado producing storm, and you don't want to be following him. Okay. You do not want to be around him whenever that starts happening. Again, tornado warning for 40 more minutes over here in Edwardsville. And then we've got a much larger tornado watch out here in Illinois and Missouri. There's almost 700 of you guys checked in here inside of this. I'm going to hit the button again. Did it work? You should have heard that come through a second time in your WeatherWise app if you are inside of that watch. This goes on for 7 hours and 40 minutes. Guys, if you're in that flashing red box there, we've got an 80% chance of seeing 2 or more tornadoes today. We've got a 60% chance of seeing some of those tornadoes being EF2 or greater. This is a high-end tornado watch. Dalton said it worked. He said it was
80,
loud.
60 tour props on the tornado watch. High-end tornado watch today.
So right now we're right in the beginning stages of what will likely be a very active day. You've seen a tornado watch pop up on your screen. Here's what that actually means. A tornado watch is issued by the Storm Prediction Center when conditions are favorable for tornadoes to develop. It does not mean a tornado has been spotted. It means the atmosphere is primed and tornadoes are possible. Here's the key difference. A watch means look out. Conditions are favorable. A warning means take cover. A tornado has been spotted or detected on radar. Watch means look out. Warning means take cover. So what should you do during a tornado watch? Know your safe room before the storm hits. Keep your phone charged with weather alerts turned on. Have shoes and a flashlight near your shelter, and stay monitoring NOAA weather radio or local news. There are also visual signs to watch for: a dark greenish sky or large low-hanging clouds, large hail with no rain, a loud continuous roar like a freight train, or a rotating cloud base. Remember, a watch means be prepared. A warning means take action. All right, and that message was for you if you are in the St. Louis region, Springfield, Missouri region, all the way over into areas south of Springfield in Illinois. So we're going from Springfield to Springfield, from Missouri to Illinois. Now let's go around the horn. Let's go into each of these warnings here. Edwardsville, you are still under a tornado warning, okay? The rotation is down here near the Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville. It's moving up Interstate 70. It's about to cross Interstate 55 here within the next 37 minutes. That's not the only warning. We've got a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning over here coming into the areas just west of Terre Haute in Illinois, down there in Clark, Coles, and Crawford County. Robertson, you guys are next in line here, and I definitely would watch these little notches, these little dangly bits hanging off the sides of the storms here. Those can kind of ingest some of that warm air and start spinning up too. That's why they put a tornado possible tag on that. That's not it, though. Down here in Jasper and Ferdinand, we have a hailstorm and a half going on right now on Highway 231. That's going to move up into the space between Jasper and Ferdinand in Indiana, and it's going to ride State Road 64 over towards English. Y'all watch out in English. A severe thunderstorm warning will probably be issued for you here soon. Back up here a little bit farther to the north in Indiana, we do have a storm down here near Bloomfield that is packing some 1-inch hail that's going to ride Interstate 69 up into Bloomington. That's Bloomington, Indiana, as you can see right here. We've got a strong storm that's going to hit Davis, Martin, and Creek counties over the next 36 minutes. Get indoors and away from windows. Owensboro, you just got hit by the hailstorm. Now it's moving past you up there towards Tell City. I'm going to tell you in Tell City when that storm's getting to you. How about 18 minutes? This thing's flying at 53 miles per hour up there to the north and east. So tell your friends in Tell City that there is a hailstorm capable of producing quarter-size hail coming into Tell City right now. Tell them that Ryan told you to tell you. And then after that, it's going to go towards Leopold in 34 minutes, and then Leavenworth in 52 minutes. Let's go back out here into Du Bois counties once again. This storm is still packing large hail, but they actually downgraded it from 1.5 inches to 1-inch hail. You can see that the hail core is actually a little bit less impressive than it was as it comes into St. Anthony, but it's still going to be a dangerous storm as it comes in. Sullivan and Jasonville in Indiana, you guys are under a severe thunderstorm, as well as that huge line over there comes down towards you. That one's going to hit hard with some very strong winds and likely some 1-inch hail. That's for Vigo County in Indiana, Clay, Green, and Sullivan counties as well. And let's go back out to the region here. I'm zooming out, showing you everybody. We can't even see the radar anymore because there's so many people checking in. Thank you guys for checking in. I can see where you're watching from. I can see we've got a lot of concerned people still watching from around the St. Louis area. The good news is that storm just to your west is still not severe warned, okay? So it's not getting much stronger, much faster, but it's doing a similar thing to the other one that just went through that caused the tornado warning. It's ingesting that outflow boundary. It's rotating a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw a tornado warning for this at some point as it goes towards St. Louis. Does that mean that it's going to produce a tornado? No, but it's got that look to it, and it's in that environment that we need to probably go ahead and warn it at some point if it keeps looking like that, just in case it does decide to spin up a tornado. Coming back over here into Illinois and Indiana, again, I'm surprised you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning in Terre Haute, but the thing that's going through right now is about to let up. Okay, so it's about over, and then it'll be a little bit before we get another storm up there. Now let's talk to Andy.
Hey, Ryan. Yeah, something else I want to talk about. Once again, a lot more people are joining us from the Chicago Metro. Now, you guys have a pretty windy situation going on. It's just now starting up on the west side of the metro. It's entering even more of the west side of the metro now. Schaumburg, lots of DuPage County as well are going to start seeing some pretty strong wind gusts. Our peak wind gusts from this was actually 67 miles per hour from the Aurora Airport to the west of Aurora, Illinois. So I would be watching this closely. These are non-thunderstorm wind gusts from what we call a wake low. So this wake low is literally in the wake of the precipitation that's moving through. If you're closer to Lake Michigan, it's not really windy at all. It's still raining, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder here and there. But after that clears out, your friends from the west will tell you that the winds have gusted 45 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour in a lot of these places. That is going to move into the Chicago Metro from west to east over time. And it's because of the wake low. So these are strong winds that develop in the wake of the precip from a really large mesoscale convective system, which is this thing extending from St. Louis all the way up to the light rain in Chicago. Definitely a pretty powerful one we've got today. And as such, we have pretty powerful wake low wind gusts of 60 to 65 miles per hour or more. So definitely watch out for that. If you're in Chicago and haven't felt the winds yet, they're probably coming. If you have felt the winds already, we'll keep track of them for you.
Thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill. Chicago, we're watching you. We're also keeping an eye on you down here in Madison County in Illinois, where we do continue to have a tornado warning for 32 more minutes. Let's see here. 35 viewers are asking for their specific forecasts.
Ryan, we've got over 35 viewers asking for detailed timing and ETAs, most of them focused around the St. Louis suburbs. We've got multiple viewer check-ins near Edwardsville, Illinois, inside tornado warning, 2 miles southwest of another's in South Roxana, about a mile south, with thunderstorms and light 15 to 18 miles from them. There's also a flash flood report 23 to 27 miles away. Ryan, they're looking for precise timing on when this system moves out and what's next. We need to break it down suburb by suburb.
I got it. I got you, Y'allbot. Thank you so much for that. Y'allbot's watching the chat and is letting me know whenever I'm letting y'all down. Okay. As far as exact timing goes,
Bubba's
in the greater St. Louis area, it's now. It's now,
Okay.
and it's not going to stop for quite some time. In fact, we do have that new severe thunderstorm warning now for the greater St. Louis area. All right. So it's between right now and later tonight. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Bubba's.
There's no more
What?
timing information. to
I
give.
have upgraded
We're just gonna
my
have storm
tour
after storm here.
prods.
And this one right here is going to bring about 1 inch hail and
specifically
60 mile per hour
around
winds.
and south of
And
St. Louis
Andy Hill did
to a
absolutely
45
nail it
sig
here.
3.
He called this warning before it was even
Yeah,
issued,
we need some
and now we've
panties.
officially got it for the St. Charles area. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect for Franklin, St. Charles, and St. Louis counties for the next 46 minutes. We've got places in here like St. Peter's, Chesterfield, Wildwood, Baldwin, and Kirkwood, and a population of over 800,000 that need to be getting indoors and away from windows. Get indoors and away from windows. How's it going out there in St. Charles? You guys are getting hit by a decent part of it right now with some of the winds and stuff. I think that the winds are going to be the most dangerous part of this right now, and the lightning. The tornadic circulation is not a huge problem at this very moment. Somebody out here in Maryland Heights says it's dark here. Yeah, these storms are looking pretty ominous as they come in. This one is going to go down towards downtown St. Louis as well. You can see that it's approaching Busch Stadium again. We've got another view of the storm coming in from the west there. We are tracking a critical situation in St. Louis right now. We got a tornado warning to the north and west. We got a severe thunderstorm warning, to the north and east. And we got a severe thunderstorm warning to the west. And that's going to continue to be the case. This is the current situation. We got 1 tornado warning and 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. That's the lowest numbers we've had in a while. So we're really just getting started here with our severe weather outbreak. Let's see here. Well, the sirens went off, but the y'all call didn't call. Yes, you were not in the tornado warning polygon. The y'all call is very precise. People often are upset because they didn't get a y'all call when the sirens went off. Well, the thing is you're just not in the warning. You can just hear the sirens. I don't want to call you and bug you unless you need to be called and bugged, and you didn't need to be earlier. So that's a good thing there. I've got some big booming thunder out here. Heavy rain, not scared. I'm prepared. Somebody in Creve Coeur says, Creve Coeur checking in. Here we go, boys. Yep, it is a strong storm coming into St. Louis right now. There are so many people sharing their locations. It's actually hard to see the radar, so I'm going to intermittently turn that off. We do still have a tornado warning for Madison County, Illinois for 28 more minutes. Freddie McKinney is still trying his best to stay in front of it here. And look at that shelf. That's a shelf cloud and a half in front of Freddie McKinney there on that tornado warning. This is out here in Madison County. The warning continues until 2 p.m. Central Time. 2 p.m. Central.
A little bit forward here.
That is a nasty looking storm there. You got that shelf cloud. That's that rain cooled air coming out from underneath the storm, meeting up with the warm air out in front of it, and that gets shoved up over top, and it creates this cool shelf cloud, and sometimes a roll cloud will get in there, and that actually might be what's on the front there.
Thunderstruck.
So that's what we're watching come into Madison County right now.
Good one.
Zooming out a little bit, let me show you the SPC risk again. This is going to be the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. If you're in the red, you're under a moderate risk. That's a 4 out of 5 severe weather risk today. The green is 1 out of 5. The yellow's 2, and the orange is 3 out of 5. That includes parts of Indianapolis down to Little Rock. But the St. Louis area is the main character today. You guys have main character energy in St. Louis, and you absolutely should, because we've known that this is going to be the epicenter of some of our biggest problems today.
I'll be right back, guys.
Does that mean that it's going to be worse in St. Louis than it is in Poplar Bluff? No, absolutely not.
It's going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to fix some
We'll
food.
be watching you later. Paducah, Kentucky, things might get hairy down there later tonight as well. Same thing in Rolla. We're going to be watching you guys very closely. I want to show you the tornado outlook too. We do have a 15% probability in the red area for tornadoes today. And it's kind of hard to read because there's so many squiggly dashed lines and stuff, but inside of this double hatched area, the diagonal lines, that's our conditional intensity guidance level 2 area, where we think that the tornadoes could be a maximum reasonable intensity of 3, EF3, maybe even higher. So that is a higher end SPC tornado guidance right there. What do we got going on down here? Just normal traffic. I think that's what we got going on down here. But yeah, we've got a lot of traffic down here in St. Louis right now during that severe thunderstorm warning. We also have a wind outlook today. We've got a 45% chance of seeing damaging winds from southwestern Indiana all the way down into southern Illinois, western Kentucky, northwest Tennessee, northeast Arkansas, southeast Missouri. So that's our wind outlook today. Winds up to 60 miles per hour will be very likely in all of the pink and red areas. The traffic light was out? Oh, the traffic light is out. That's why it's flashing? Yeah, I've got like, what's it called? I just got an aversion to these traffic jams near overpasses. I always think bridge bozos are involved, but this right here seems like a legitimate traffic jam. We can't make fun of anybody here. All right, let's go back down into our severe thunderstorm warning for St. Louis. A strong storm is going through St. Charles right now, and we do have a little bit of hail and some stronger winds coming in. So this is what it looks like out there in Creve Coeur as the storm comes in. If you've got photos or videos you want to share with me of the storm as it comes in, please send that over to ryanhaulyall.com/submit. Look at this, Douglas County, Illinois, we've already got semis flipping over. We got semi-trucks flipping over in Douglas County, Illinois, with the wind that's already coming through. It got real windy out there, Jeremiah says. And then here's another look at the St. Louis area as the storm came in a little bit earlier. Thank you so much for sending that in, Captain. Not looking real friendly, Chris says. Yeah, that's not a friendly looking shelf cloud at all. And it's the first of many that you will see today out here, unfortunately. Chris, thanks for sending that in to ryanhaulyall.com/submit. Out there in Washington, Indiana, we got a pretty decent hailstorm earlier. And then you can also see that over here in Huntingtonburg in Indiana with some, what is that, probably quarter-size hail coming down there. Penny-size hail. And then here's those turbulent skies we were looking at. So, yeah, keep sending stuff in to ryanhaulyall.com/submit. Let's go see what Andy's looking at. Meteorologist Andy Hill has drawn our attention back over here to to the west into Kansas, and he got it again. He was dead on it. Meteorologist Andy Hill absolutely nailed it with this severe thunderstorm warning for Lynn, Miami, and Bates counties. Okay, so a little storm popped up. Nobody's even looking at it except for the wonderful expert meteorologist at the National Weather Service and here at Hall Enterprises, meteorologist Andy Hill. The great minds think alike. We got the early heads up there for Pleasanton, Lynn Valley, Highway 69. We've got 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds coming in right now. Andy's batting average is, I mean, he's like the Babe Ruth. He's like the Babe Ruth of severe weather forecasting. Bloomfield, you guys have got a severe thunderstorm warning over here for Davis, Greene, and Martins counties. This is going to go on for 22 more minutes. There's 18,000 people in here bracing for 1-inch hail. Yeah, that's Andy the Hammer Hill. He absolutely nailed it once
A
again.
new flash flood warning has been issued.
Thunderstorm warning continues for St. Louis. The strongest part of the storm right now is moving into the Creve Coeur area. Hey, what's a school bus doing out here? I thought school was closed.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Early dismissal. There's another one. It's kind of, honestly, it's kind
A
of
new
late.
flash
It's kinda
flood
late for
warning
an
has
early
been
dismissal.
issued. A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Yeah, we still have a tornado warning out here for Madison County.
A new flash flood warning has been
Highway
issued.
4, you guys are next in line here to get the rotation. It's coming right for Freddie. It doesn't look like he's seeing anything. We also have some flooding concerns out here. We got a big flash flooding warning back here for Jefferson City. More storms are going to form, and that's going to be a big problem for us as the storms get stronger and dump a ton of moisture on this area. Raula, you guys have got nothing going on right now, but we're watching the storms. They're going to be forming here soon. The tornado sniffer Brad Arnold is going south on Interstate 55 here. Look at this. Where are you going, Brad? So he is sniffing something down here in, closer to southeastern Missouri. So it'll be interesting to see what he finds. Right now, obviously, there's literally nothing going on out here. We do have a little bit of rotation showing up on our storm over here near Louisville. Do you guys say Louisville in Illinois, or do you say the right way? But there's a little bit of rotation on this storm out here. We'll watch that as it goes over towards Xenia, Flora, and Clay City in Illinois. No severe thunderstorm warning even on this yet, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, you say it the right way? Good. Current situation, we've got 1 tornado warning and 5 severe thunderstorm warnings. We are right in the beginning stages of this severe weather situation. I'm going to zoom out. Once again, if you want to see your dot, now's your chance. We are tracking a tornado warning for Madison County, Illinois, just, to the north and east of St. Louis. This includes Edwardsville and Glen Carbon, and we've got radar indicated rotation. I don't know if they will continue that. Past St. Louis, but they might. I'm sorry, past the area that it's currently at, but they might. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey, Ryan, my cam just zoomed out. There we go. I was going to talk about that eastern Kansas storm a little bit more, actually. I issued the severe thunderstorm. Y'all watch for it. Actually, after looking at satellite, interestingly enough, I saw that it had a healthy development on the satellite. I could see the cloud tops were pretty cold. So I went over and looked at it, and sure enough, yeah, we got the severe warning on it. But also something to note here is something sneaky. If you look at the velocity and then go up a tilt or two, you'll see that pop out quite clearly. There's a very robust spinning part of that storm there. And I checked the environment, and sure enough, there is actually some significant tornado parameter values that are present over here. And this is close to the low pressure center that's driving parts of the system today. There's a couple of low pressure centers, this one being one of them. This storm that's close to that means it might have a little bit more spin than we first anticipated it to. Since if you zoom out, it's not even in the tornado watch that's issued at the moment. So it's very possible that we could see a tornado threat from this storm in the short to near term here. I don't know if it necessarily will do that, but if it starts to show up on those lowest levels of velocity, then I'll have a tornado y'all watch for it. But for now, that's just something I am looking out for ahead of time.
All right. Thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill. Interesting situation here in the Kansas moving into Missouri. Let's go back over here to St. Louis, where they did add a tornado possible tag to this severe thunderstorm warning that's coming in. Got a little bit of rotation on this. Once again, we've got a camera over here at Busch Stadium, still watching these flags. The storm is still drawing in a bunch of energy from the surface here, and we are going to continue to see this storm get stronger as it heads towards downtown St. Louis, and it also continues to have a chance of producing a tornado. Right now, there's no reason to take cover. You just got to get indoors and away from windows as the strongest part of the storm works in. Creve Corps, you guys are going to get another round here, by the way. You had a round, and now you're going to get another round of some strong winds and some hail. That's the main thing. Freddie McKinney is still on that tornado warning storm out here near Edwardsville. And this is a live look at that. And this is where we have that active tornado warning for Madison County until 3 p.m. just to the east of St. Louis. Radar showing rotation near Marine and Troy, moving east at 25 miles per hour. If you're in St. Jacob, Glen Carbon, or Troy, you need to be in your safe room right now. And then we also have a tornado possible tag on this warning over here in Indiana. This is Clay, Greene, and Sullivan counties in Indiana. We actually have a little bit of rotation right here in north and east of Sullivan. This whole line here is ingesting a lot of warm air, and you've got some strong winds coming out of there. Anytime that happens, you'll get spin-up tornadoes, and this is just one of the many areas where that could happen, and that's why we've got a tornado possible tag on the storm, and that's also why the WeatherWise Pro AI tornado detection system is flagging this at 66%. So not enough necessarily to issue a warning just yet, but still something to keep an eye on for Jasonville. We're keeping an eye on you guys as that storm spins right towards you. I see somebody in Bloomington saying, I got to cancel my walk. Yep, I would definitely cancel the walk. Bring on the storms. They're coming. This one over here in St. Louis is definitely getting stronger. Definitely getting stronger. We're chasing via traffic camera right now. Dude, there's school buses everywhere. They literally, they're just now letting out school, ain't they? Before we get too busy today, you know, of course, we got to have at least one rant about the bridge bozos. We're running a campaign right now to where anytime we see somebody sheltering from a storm, especially if it's a tornado possible storm under an overpass, we point and laugh. Not because, you know, we're trying to make people feel bad or anything, but the other ways aren't working. Okay, this is not safe. This is not okay. And what's going to happen here is somebody else is going to park on the other side, and eventually traffic's going to get stopped up here. You think it won't? You think I'm overreacting? We have receipts, son. We've seen this happen hundreds of times, and it's led to life-threatening situations completely because people are trying to use a bridge as an umbrella. Don't be a bridge bozo. Don't do it. By the way, our severe thunderstorm warning back here in Kansas continues. We're now talking about 1.25 inch hail. 1.25 inch hail. And then back over to our tornado warning. This continues for 12 more minutes. The rotation is right over where Freddie is right now. I'm not seeing a tornado. You guys see one anywhere?
Headed south. Heading south we go. Heading south we go. Just keep getting
I don't see nary one. So they might allow that to expire, but we're going to respect the polygon and stay in our safe spots anyways.
9-hour drive. Yay! Oh my gosh. Hey, we're up to 2.
One of the strongest storms that we have right now is the one coming into St. Louis. That's why we're kind of focused on that. And you'll be able to see it come through the Y'all Squad camera here very well. You can already see the sky opening up back here for, you know, where the rain is. You can see this camera, by the way, in the WeatherWise app. That's the Y'all Squad is stationed in St. Louis today, just in case we need to go respond. You guys have helped us raise almost $120,000 this week for storm victims. So we're here, we're on the ground, we're ready to go. Is there a reason why my weather app doesn't show a tornado warning even though we are under a warning? Well, it's probably because it's not WeatherWise. That's all I know. Man, this one's moving pretty fast too. By the way, if you're just now tuning in, we're just getting started. We're waiting on some of these storms to kind of we're waiting for some of these storms to start to get a little bit more robust here. We do have a tornado watch, which carries a 60% chance of strong EF2 to EF5 tornadoes developing through 9 p.m. tonight. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for St. Louis County.
A new tornado
And we
warning
still have
has
that
been
tornado
issued.
warning right now for Madison County.
A new tornado warning has been
And
issued.
it looks like they are going to expand that or extend that out in Illinois over there. Dang, that's a big tornado warning. We have a tornado warning right now for Madison County, Illinois. And we also have a new one for Bond County as well. And this is going to go out over Interstate 70. So we believe that the rotation on this is going to continue all the way up past Pocahontas and Greenville. So take shelter out there for the next 55 minutes. Honestly, kind of shocked. But we're going to respect the polygon in Greenville, Pocahontas, Alhambra, Tamalco, Parian, and Grand Fork for the next 55 minutes. This is what I like to call a precautionary tornado warning. So we don't have a tornado down, but one could come down. The storm does suggest that could happen, and we're going to take shelter just in case. Yeah, definitely fast track that. I'll show that one. I think I added drag and drop, Jared. I might have forgot to push it, though. Oops. Anyways, we got a tornado warning for Bond and Madison counties. You guys got to take shelter. That's really our only tornado warning right now. The current situation says 2, but that's for the same storm. There's just 2 overlapping warnings. Honestly, things are kind of quiet right now. Things are going to start popping off here in just a little bit. Unfortunately, actually, the longer it takes for things to pop off, the worse they could be, because we're getting a lot of instability, just kind of cooking down here in Missouri right now, just waiting to get absorbed by a storm. There's just not very many to absorb that instability right now. This one back here, this storm in Kansas, is going to have a field day. Because it's very easily going to be able to ingest all this storm fuel. And this one could be a candidate for a tornado before you know it. Going back to St. Louis, this is what it looks like as this next storm comes in. Oh, my bad. I said the Q word. Is there any way to undo that? Can you knock on wood or something? I don't know. Everybody knock on wood. Find some wood, knock on it. If there's 80,000 of us here, if 80,000 people knock on wood, that should undo it. I think that's how it works. I think I heard it. I'm over here in Kentucky. I heard a low rumble. I just heard 80,000 people concurrently knocking on wood just now. That was weird. If you're just now tuning in, we do have a tornado watch out for eastern Missouri and southern Illinois. The watch carries a 60% probability of strong EF2 to EF5 tornadoes between now and 9 p.m. This right here is another very interesting storm that we're watching in Kansas right now. You can see that it is starting to rotate even at the surface, but if you go up in tilts, it's rotating a little bit more. That's going to get translated down, and we might see a tornado warning for that storm in the future. The big red area here, that's where our tornado watch is. And by the way, we just got a new mesoscale discussion. You see the big circle area, that's a new mesoscale discussion. There's a 95% that they're going to issue, a 95% chance that they're going to issue a tornado watch in this exact area. Wow. Raise your hand if you live inside of that circle, or better yet, check in on the WeatherWise app so we can see who's watching. This is a pretty big deal, actually. Another high-end tornado watch is probably going to be issued down here for this. And it looks like strong tornadoes are going to be possible all the way down from Memphis up into the West Tennessee area, Northeast Arkansas, Southeast Missouri, Southern Illinois. A tornado watch is very likely. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm going to let everybody check in here to make sure everybody's paying attention. If you got a cousin or an uncle down here, call them. We're gonna go over everything here for this area, because I think it's important that we get out in front of this and start talking about this now, because I think there are actually people going out for picnics right now down here. There's people going out for picnics right now because the weather seems nice. But we are watching a serious weather setup this afternoon across the Mid-South and lower Ohio Valley. Okay? The Storm Prediction Center says a tornado watch is likely, with the highest concern across southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, western Kentucky, and western Tennessee, and northeast Arkansas. The atmosphere is becoming very unstable down here right now. If you go outside, you've either got milky skies or sunny skies, depending on where you are. And that's allowing for warm, humid air to kind of build up. And the storms are going to be able to take advantage of that. They're going to develop over the next couple of hours. They're going to start off as little blips, and they're going to stay isolated at first, which would allow them to rotate more easily. I'm specifically talking about everybody inside of this area right here. Supercell thunderstorms are possible, and those storms are, possibly going to produce tornadoes, very large hail and damage.
A new
winds.
flash flood
The greatest
warning has
tornado
been
concern
issued.
Is probably going to be in Illinois, southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, and western Kentucky, where the ingredients are coming together for potentially intense tornadoes, not just strong tornadoes, but intense tornadoes. Not everybody inside of this circle here is going to see
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
tornado, let alone a severe thunderstorm. Some of you will be missed. This is not a system that's going to hit everybody. In fact, the reason we're so concerned about it is because the storms are going to be discrete. That means there's going to be a lot of space north and south of each storm where nobody gets anything. But if you're one of the unlucky people who gets
a new flash flood warning has been issued.
Very large hail up to softball size is going to be possible, and EF2 to EF5 tornadoes are going to be possible. So again, just to reiterate, if you're just now tuning in, a tornado watch is likely over the next couple of hours. Storms are going to start to develop within an hour or two, and we're going to watch them very closely.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Andy Hill is issuing a bunch of y'all watches out here. Here's one for Moran, Kansas. Y'all watch out. A severe thunderstorm warning might be needed for that. Here's a left split on that cell near Herman. Coming up
A new
towards,
tornado
Troy, Missouri.
warning has been
You guys
issued.
need to watch out as well. A severe thunderstorm warning will likely be
A
needed
new
for that as
tornado
well.
warning has been issued.
And then in Bedford, Indiana, we're watching out over here too. This storm's pretty strong, and it doesn't have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. It does have a Temu diet, gluten-free severe thunderstorm warning. Anytime you see a purple box like this, that's a special weather statement, which is just a level below a severe thunderstorm warning. But then that probably needs to be upgraded to a full flavor severe warning here soon. Let's hear from our director of the Y'all Squad, Dalton. Wait, this ain't a video. Let's just look at him. The director, Dalton, and the wonderful firefighters from Florissant Valley Fire Department who helped hand out Midland weather radios yesterday. What a wonderful picture. What a wonderful picture. Huge shout out to the fire department down there in Florissant for helping hand out 1,000 NOAA weather radios completely for free to the community yesterday. And then check out this shot of the storm coming into St. Louis from Kayla. Florissant? Is that not what I'm saying? You guys are too picky, man. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. You guys don't say potato? And we've got our furry friends checking in as well. Had some strong winds out there in DeKalb, Illinois, DeKalb. And some major hail in Missouri. So if you got photos or videos you want to share with us, you can do that over there at ryanhallyall.com/submit. Look at that rotation in Washington, Missouri a little bit earlier. Ominous skies. Again, ryanhallyall.com/submit. We do have a tornado warning over here for Bond and Madison counties for the next 44 minutes. That's going to be over here for areas like Greenville. We've got some rotation left over from that storm that went through St. Louis, and it's still riding along Interstate 70 towards Greenville. Interestingly, in my opinion, we've got this severe thunderstorm over here coming through the north side of St. Louis right now. We've got a pretty intense area of strong winds and hail. This is where we have a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Madison, St. Clair, and St. Louis counties. They do have a tornado possible tag on this. A tornado possible tag because there is some rotation on it. This is storm number 2 in St. Louis, and it won't be the last one. Here's your next one already starting to form over here near Herman. So more storms are going to be forming over the next little bit. We do have a bunch of people checking in on the WeatherWise app. Most people are tuning in right now from Missouri, then Illinois, then Indiana, then Tennessee, then Kentucky. Do you see your dot? Hopefully you see your dot. Yeah, we're about to get a tornado watch in Kentucky and Tennessee and Arkansas. It's not out yet, but it's about to come out. By the way, check it out. We got a severe thunderstorm warning for Bedford. Meteorologist Andy Hill absolutely nailed it.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Just lit up with a severe thunderstorm warning.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Let's break it down. A severe thunderstorm warning means a storm producing winds over 58 miles per hour or hail an inch or larger is happening right now in your area. The main threats: damaging winds that snap trees and down power lines, large hail that can shatter windows, deadly lightning, and heavy rain that triggers flash flooding in minutes. Get inside a sturdy building immediately. Stay away from windows. Unplug electronics and monitor NOAA weather radio for updates. If you're driving, pull over safely and stay in your car with your seatbelt on. If you're outdoors, get to a building fast. Never shelter under an overpass or a tree after the storm. Wait for the all clear before going outside. Stay away from downed power lines and flooded roads, and check on your neighbors. Send reports to me and the NWS if you can do so safely. You can send pictures and videos to ryanhallyall.com/submit. The sirens are going off again in St. Louis. Another tornado warning has been issued for Johnson, St. Clair, St. Louis City, Granite City, Collinsville. You guys are all under a new tornado warning again. We don't want you to get warning fatigue here, but you've got rotation here coming right for downtown St. Louis again. We've got a live shot of it. There's the lowering right there behind my head, coming right up towards Busch Stadium right now. Again, we've got a tornado warning in effect once again for St. Louis in the eastern Missouri. This also goes out into Illinois. It's the same areas essentially that were just under a tornado warning not too long ago. You're going to want to keep an eye on this part of the storm right here. This is the part that's trying to spin up a new tornado in St. Louis right now. You've got Busch Stadium on the left side of your screen. And we're going to watch that rotation literally go right up towards the stadium here as it tries to produce a tornado. Let me go back to radar and show you what exactly we're looking at. You see this, the hook right here? That's the storm, once again, ingesting that outflow boundary and trying to curl up a tornado literally right over Botanical Heights and the St. Louis University. That rotating part of the storm is going to go right over downtown St. Louis, and it's going to make it over there into Collinsville and Caseyville. So again, we told you this was going to happen. There's going to be multiple warnings today in St. Louis. Don't allow yourself to get warning fatigue here. This probably won't even be the last tornado warning of the day. But you can see that we've got that lowering right now coming into the St. Louis area. This definitely looks more robust than the last storm that came through, and you can see very clearly where we're going to be watching for a tornado here over the next 40 minutes or so. So you want to get indoors, away from windows. That's the first step. And then you want to get to the lowest floor of a sturdy building. A lot of people are in high-rise buildings right now. If you don't have access to, or if you can't get to the base, the basement or the lowest floor, you just want to get into the interior hallway or closet or bathroom, and you want to put as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. Dalton's zooming in here on our lowest hanging part of the cloud here in St. Louis. You can see we've got stuff descending down towards the surface here in St. Louis right now. A very nasty looking storm there. It's getting ready to go behind Busch Stadium there, but the whole part of the storm that's kind of lower than the rest here, any part of this you could see a tornado come out of. So we want to make sure that we're taking shelter, and it could happen very fast too. It could happen very fast. So you don't want to, worry too much about seeing it, right? Because, it could happen so fast that you won't see it until it's right on top of you. So St. Louis, you guys need to be in your safe spots. Once again, putting as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. Dalton says the sirens are going off out here, and it is very loud. Yeah, I believe we're pointing literally right towards where that tornado would be if it's going to form. Right now, the rotation is over Gate District, Fox Park. Somebody out here says the tornado sirens are going off. It's about to go right over the Busch Stadium area and then go up towards East St. Louis right now. So you guys need to be taking shelter downstream as well in Caseyville, Collinsville, all the way up there towards Glen Carbon. Are we still hearing the sirens? Somebody in chat says there's 85,000 people watching, only 13,000 likes. If you want to help us get some of this information out to people, hitting the like button is the fastest way to do that. Wow. Man, this is moving fast too. Look at this. Look at how quickly the clouds are moving right above the Busch Stadium here. This is not sped up. This is real time. And all that's kind of culminating into that lowering that we just saw in the distance there before it got hidden behind the stadium. That's all culminating in one area, and that can very quickly spin up into a tornado. That's why we have the tornado warning right now. Outside of the tornado threat, this part of St. Louis is not going to get a very strong storm. If you're looking for like large hail and damaging winds outside of the tornado threat, you're going to be disappointed in St. Louis. It's the threat right now is literally for a spin-up tornado. Now, if you're farther north in Granite City and Pontoon Beach, a beefier part of the storm is coming towards you. That's likely got some larger hail and potentially some damaging winds even outside of the tornado. We have an active, incredibly dangerous tornado warning right now for the St. Louis metro area, crossing the river into Madison and St. Clair counties in Illinois. By the way, emergency responders are already on the scene to some damage right now in Marine, Illinois. We've got some building damage from a possible either straight line damaging wind or tornado brief interaction out there. So this is a volatile storm pushing east at 30 miles per hour, putting highly populated areas like Granite City and Collinsville and Edwardsville directly in the path. You got to get to your safe room immediately. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So that rotation's literally going right over top of Dalton right now. And then it's going to be moving towards Caseyville and Collinsville, okay? Somebody in downtown St. Louis said, Somebody else says lightning like crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning here. Somebody in chat asked, like, what the sparkles are on the radar. Those little white dots that you see popping up, that's real-time lightning. So the more of those you see, the more lightning there is in a storm. This actually isn't the most lightning-having storm that we've seen. This is actually on the low end compared to some of the storms from the past couple of days. Madison, St. Clair, and St. Louis counties, you guys are also under a severe thunderstorm warning. So even all the way out there past Edwardsville, we're looking at potentially 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, these could be cloud-to-ground lightning strikes for sure. We've got our eyes out there on St. Louis, guys. We are monitoring the absolute heck out of this situation. If there was a danger noodle that was on the ground right now, we would know. There's not. But we saw the lowering. We saw the lowering. We saw the rotation. We know that it is possible. So we're taking shelter just in case. Fight the Midwestern urge to go out in the backyard, put your hands on your hips, and look for the tornado. You're not going to scare it off. Okay? Get inside. We'll show you the thing. We'll show you the tornado. If you really want to see it, that's what we're here for. We're going to show it to you. It's not out there right now. A lot of people tuning in from Granite City. Lightning and heavy rain here, and the sirens are going off, but no rotation. There is a little bit of rotation literally going right over Granite City right now. So I wouldn't say there's no rotation, but it is not extremely strong. You're not cooked. Somebody said yuck. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The storm is going to go right over Granite City, then Edwardsville. You guys are going to get some hail out of this too, so get ready for that. And yeah, by the way, there is another storm up over here to the west of St. Louis that's going to, probably split again and come your way. But right now, the biggest part of it's going to go off to the north and east. Meteorologist Andy Hill absolutely nailed it on this early call out with the Y'all Watch there. Troy, you're now under a severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Back over here into Indiana, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible for Worthington. Worthington, you guys need to be getting indoors and away from windows because we've got some strong storms coming in, and that'll eventually be moving over towards Bloomington as well, okay? And then Bedford, you guys have got some strong hail and gusty winds coming in as well. Get indoors and away from windows out there. Zooming out to the region here. Let me let everybody's emotes play, and then I'll turn the locations off so we can see the radar. It's absolutely wild how many people are constantly sharing their locations these days. Thank you guys for doing that, by the way. It actually does help us know where to look and stuff. But you can see that we've got a pretty interesting situation going on here where we have some cells popping up over here west of Louisville. We've got a line of storms down here to the south and west of Indianapolis. This is moving generally to the south and east. The big part of this is going to miss Indianapolis. But it's going to hit the heck out of Olney, Jasper, and Bedford and Bloomington, okay? So you guys need to be ready for more severe thunderstorm warnings out there. We don't have anything going on yet in Owensboro. We had a storm earlier, but more storms are on the way. We do have a couple of blips that are starting to bloop down here in southern Missouri. I want to see if we've got a visual on this yet. Yep, this is a live look at a brand new blip that's just popped onto the scene here in Dexter, Missouri. This is a dangerous situation. It sounds silly, but this little blip right here is not good. It's got too much sauce. There's too much sauce in the air for this to have access to. And what it does with that is going to be bad, whether it's large to giant hail to potentially intense tornadoes. This little cloud right here is going to be responsible for some damage later as it moves off to the north and east. So you guys got to start watching out in Cape Girardeau and Paducah and places like that. Not trying to scare you, just being 100% real. Coming back out here to St. Louis, that's where we have the tornado warning right now. Downtown St. Louis, they've removed the warning for you. It's now just for areas to your north, including Edwardsville and Collinsville. Take shelter. And then we've got more storms forming behind you, okay? We might get a little bit of a break in St. Louis, but there will be more storms. Some of the bigger storms right now, though, are popping up over here on the border between Kansas and Missouri. And then meteorologist Andy Hill, that is in Kansas right now, south of, is that Iola or Lola? That's Iola, right? Allen, Bourbon County, y'all watch out. I'm hitting the button. Y'all watch out. Andy is saying that there's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning here soon. But man, this one up here is looking really mean. Adrian, you guys really need to be ready for some large hail and damaging winds along Interstate 49 there, south of Harrisonville in Missouri. And then Bourbon County, Kansas, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. Freddie McKinney is currently out here just to the east of St. Louis, giving us a view of that second storm as it crosses over the river again. We are tracking a pretty dangerous storm up here to the north and east of St. Louis. We got a tornado warning in effect.
I think that's it.
And, we've got people taking shelter out there as they should in Granite City and Pontoon Beach and Edwardsville.
The tornado.
This is all part of a level 4 moderate risk that we have in place today. The environment is actually highly primed for strong long track tornadoes. The reason we haven't seen any strong long track tornadoes yet is because as primed as the environment is, we haven't had the storms that are capable of taking advantage of that. We've got some linear slop right now in Illinois. We've got a couple of cells that are starting to, merge together in Indiana. The quality supercell activity that we have right now is pretty much all in Kansas and slowly moving into the western Missouri area.
Chat. I mean, that's going to be our view of this tornado warning.
So if we get more of those kinds of storms, which we think we will, that's when the problems are really going to start escalating.
S. Jess, what a name. Welcome to the Storm Society.
Let's hear from Andy.
Hey Ryan, I went ahead and put a tornado y'all watch out here for Passaic and Adrian, Missouri, here in Bates County. It's western Missouri to the south of Kansas City, a few counties. This area, it's got a solid hook on it now, but what I'm watching most closely is that there is a little bit of a boundary visible in front of that hook. In order for this to become tornadic in the short term here, it does need to ingest that boundary like we've been seeing with the repeated storms over St. Louis. If that development happens here, then I will up the confidence on this y'all watch, but I've got it extending out to the east since the environment gets more favorable as we go further east here into western Missouri. So definitely watching out this storm and its development there. You can tell that hook is formed rather quickly.
Thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill. Watch this very closely out here between Mulberry and Virginia, going up towards Passaic. There's no tornado warning on this, but if we see this storm start to ingest that boundary, we likely will see that warning pretty soon here. This storm is, it's primed up and ready to go. It really wants to produce a tornado. We'll see what happens with it as it continues to move off to the east. So we're watching out from Urich down to Butler and Adrian, okay? We do have a severe thunderstorm warning down here for western portions of Missouri and Bourbon County. This is also something that we've got to watch out for some rotation in the future. Right now, the main threat's 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Check this out. Tinley wants to say hi to Ryan, Yalba, and Nimbus. Hello, Tinley. Thanks for sending that in. That's a great picture of Yalba. I love it. And of course, we've got all of the cats tuning in today. We currently have about 80,000 people watching. I think the number would be well over 100K if you counted the cats. And then here's a look at some crazy lightning out there in St. Louis. This is from Alexa. GS sent in this time lapse right before the second tornado siren started to go off in St. Louis. And you can see the rotation kind of taking place there in real time. It's kind of broad from this angle, but that's part of the mechanism that led to the tornado watch. Thanks for sending that in. And here's some more of that big hail last night out there in Francis County. And this is from Hunter. Thanks for sending that in. If you guys got photos or videos you want to send in, ryanhaulyall.com/submit is the place to do it. Here's some damage out there in Randolph County, Missouri. Blair, hopefully everybody's all right. Dark skies from Jessica, Antonio, and Connor. Thank you for sending this stuff in. Let's go over here to the severe thunderstorm warning. Once again, Bates, Cass, and Henry counties, you guys have got to get ready for some 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then down here, we got another severe thunderstorm warning, and Andy nailed it once again. Oh, my gosh. I had the button for the big graphic and the little one right next to each other. I like the big one, but that was meant to be a little one. If I did the big one the whole time, the whole stream would just be like, Andy nailed it. Just the graphic over and over again. That's all we'd be doing over here. But yeah, you guys are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like, we told you pretty much exactly where that warning was going to be. So you had some extra lead time there to prepare. Now you've got the actual warning from the National Weather Service saying, get indoors and away from windows. A tornado warning does continue over here from Madison County. Collinsville, you guys are in this for the next 24 minutes. Please stay in your safe spots for 24 more minutes, all 112,000 of yous. We've got that one tornado warning right now and 10 severe thunderstorm warnings. So far over the past 12 hours, we've had 17 tornado warnings and 110 severe thunderstorm. If you pull that out to 24 hours, over the past 24 hours, we've had 53 tornado warnings and 239 severe.
10 minutes until day 3 outlooks
very busy
update.
24 hours, and we are just in the beginning. We are just right at the beginning of this. Those numbers could potentially double, if not triple, before the end of the day today. Section 1 guy says, I have a Ryan Hall as my weatherman shirt. I'd like to add Andy nailed it shirt. I think so. I think that we need to add that. We need to add that. Somebody write that down. Our PR team and marketing team is the chat. If you're just now tuning in, we've got an active tornado warning for Madison County, Illinois, including Granite City and Edwardsville until 2:45 p.m. Central. This is a dangerous situation. Oh, the blip song? Okay, hold on. Let me find a proper blip for you. See, the thing is, the blips back here in Kansas, we're already not underestimating them. We're estimating them just fine. Blips over here in southeast. I go get something to drink here. Listen to the lyrics. If you've never heard this before, listen to the lyrics closely. This is a very valuable lesson in here.
Every storm starts out as a blip, a little bitty blip, taking moisture from the ground, call it a double dip, but I don't give a flip. Little blips, they can rip, you can feel it in your hip. Never underestimate a blip.
Never underestimate a blip. Never underestimate a blip. It's not a smart thing to do. These little storms down here will grow into monsters, okay? That's why we've got a 95% chance of a tornado watch being issued here soon in this area. Is this AI? No, that was literally Andy. Andy knows how to play the banjo. Do you guys not know that? Come down here to Illinois once again. We've got Madison County under a severe thunderstorm warning on top of the tornado warning. I don't think that they will issue another big tornado warning after this one like they did earlier, but they might. But regardless of that, you are going to get the severe effects out of this in areas east of Edwardsville. We're talking about 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. Andy can do it all, son. There's nothing Andy can't do, okay? Bates, Cass, and Henry counties, you guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning for the next 20 minutes as well. We've got a viewer right here where the rotation is saying, here we go again. By the way, Troy, Missouri, you guys are still under that severe thunderstorm warning. We got a pretty good sized storm coming right up towards you right now. It's currently in Jonesboro or Jonesburg and Warrenton. That's coming up towards Troy in the next 20 minutes. Y'all watch out. It's going to move past that too. This thing is moving up there towards Ellsbury within the next hour or so. And it's getting stronger. It's actually getting quite a bit stronger. Thanks for the love and sharing the your locations on the map, guys. If you want to see your dot on the map, another reminder here is to download the WeatherWise app. This is the best app for weather. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. One of these days when we've got time, I will debate you if you disagree, and I will win. Trust me, we know what's good over here. This is all we do. But the best thing about it is that it's free, okay? So you can download the app and you can follow along. If I'm not looking at the right chaser, if I'm not looking at the right radar area, you can have it up on your own phone. A lot of people watch on the TV and they follow along on their phone, right? And it's just a great companion app to the stream here that'll keep you safe even when I'm not live, okay? It's got the weather warnings in there and everything. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning out here for Bloomington again in Indiana. We're talking about 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds coming in over the next 33 minutes. We've got a bunch of storms out there. One of our chasers is kind of off the beaten path here a little bit. You guys know Jennifer. Jennifer is out here in Indiana showing us that big line of storms that's coming in just to the south and west of Bloomington. Look at this. That is a nasty looking line of storms coming into Elnora, Indiana. This is what it looks like. We are tracking a highly volatile and dangerous severe weather outbreak across the mid-Mississippi Valley today. Right now, the immediate life safety threat is in southwestern Illinois. There's an active tornado warning for Madison County. But a massive tornado watch is in effect right now for 3 million people across eastern Missouri and southern Illinois until 9 p.m. Central. And the Storm Prediction Center is highlighting a 60% probability of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes in that watch area. Flash flooding is also looking like it's going to be a big deal today. We've already heard about some flash flooding and some water rescues out there in the greater St. Louis area. And a new tornado watch is going to be coming soon for portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas. So we got a lot going on right now. It's a little bit of a pregame action. We're not deep into it yet, but things are going to continue to pop off here as the storms get stronger, as we get deeper into the heating of the day. It's really nice how Jennifer is a lot of times where the other chasers are not. I agree. The chasers a lot of times are always on the same exact storm. And that's hard to, it's hard to do anything other than that because it's oftentimes very obvious where the best.
It's not having access to 1 million industrial.
Shoals and Bedford area of Indiana. Indianapolis, you guys are fine. You got some gusty winds coming down on the southwest side, but all the really bad stuff is mostly down to your south right now. We'll let you know if
Hey, yeah, I'm just working on a few things right now. Okay, just give me a minute, guys. Finally. New Day One Outlook comes out in 27 minutes. Let's see.
By far the best move.
Just for a moment after these animations roll. Thank you guys for all the support in the Weatherwise app. By the way, if you got a pro subscription, you can make hearts come out of your dot. How cool is that? Shout out to the Weatherwise software engineers for giving us the most interactive live stream that you could possibly be a part of. But if you're just now tuning in, we are monitoring a highly dangerous situation unfolding right now because we've got supercells starting to form up over here in Kansas and Missouri. Those are forming along a boundary where we have a ton of ingredients for tornadogenesis. Okay, so these storms are going to be able to produce tornadoes as they go towards Jefferson City and St. Louis. St. Louis has already been under 2 tornado warnings today. I don't think that will be the last one. I think that we will have more tornado warnings. And then down here between Memphis and Paducah, we're about to get a new tornado watch. And that's for blips that haven't even completely blooped yet. So we're going to watch those storms start to explode here soon. And you're probably thinking, Ryan, why are you talking about these places back here whenever it definitely looks like the worst storm is right now just to the south of Indianapolis?
Attention, a new considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Storm right now is this big old line of storms down here south of west of Indianapolis. But the biggest problem here is going to be wind and heavy rain and a little bit of hail, okay? The big problem today is going to come from discrete supercells, which are starting to pop up back here to the west a little bit. So that's what it looks like out there right now across the region. And there's your dots. By the way, considerable damage threat, golf ball size hail coming up to Urick in Johnson County right now. You guys need to be taking shelter. We have no tornado warnings currently, but we do have a couple of these considerable severes. This one's a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning coming up towards Troy, Missouri. Troy, Missouri. You guys ready? I am pulling up the satellite here. You can see that we've got mostly clear skies down here. Mostly clear skies all the way down into Tulsa. You got this little boundary right here. Like we are going to start to see storms popping up along these areas, these cloud fields that you see right here. And we're going to start to see more storms pop up down here around Cape Girardeau and Charleston. But the fact that we've got clear skies around Rolla right now is not a good sign. There's lots of instability, kind of puddling up here as the storms get going back here south and east of Kansas City. This big blob right here is actually protecting Indianapolis today. If this wasn't here, you guys would have a bigger severe risk. Did I say Rolla again? My bad. I know what it's actually called. I think.
I think.
One of the strongest storms right now is still this one that we have out here in Bates, Cass, and Henry and Johnson counties in Missouri. It's really starting to get a decent hail core here. So this is now officially a strong storm coming up towards Urich. And then back here
20
in
minutes till
Missouri,
day
we've
one
got
outlook.
another tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning issued for the area between O'Fallon and Troy and Ellsbury. Get indoors and away from windows. Check this out. We got another cat watching in Stark County, Ohio. Sam, thank you so much for sending this in. And we got the youngins out there watching too. Future meteorologists taking notes. Wyatt loves watching you guys. Hello, Wyatt. I can tell. I can tell by the way you're watching. You're going to be a great meteorologist one day. This was the hail from the storm we got between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Yeah, there was a big one that came through Missouri this morning. It was storming all night. I woke up this morning and there was like 10,000 people watching Y'allbot, and I was like, okay, well, something happened last night. Yeah, there's some big hail in Farmington, Missouri. Here's that time lapse again. Hey, look at that. This is what we were showing you from Dalton's point of view. Whoever took this video, it's pretty close to where Dalton is. I don't know exactly where you are, but this is that big lowering that produced the tornado warning earlier in St. Louis. What an ominous view there from St. Louis. Thank you for sending that in. Turbulent skies from Spencer. Timothy's got some flooding going on out here in Effingham County. More of that's on the way, unfortunately. Meteorologist Andy Hill is pointing out an area of interest near Warrenton and O'Fallon, including Wright City, Innsbrook, and Wentzville in Missouri for a low-confidence tornado yaw watch. We do have some rotation trying to come together here near Aspenhoff and Hopewell. This does not have a tornado warning yet, but y'all watch out because one might be coming here soon. There's 23 of you guys inside of it. I'm going to ring the bell. Y'all watch out. Andy saw it coming on the radar screen. Bloomington in Indiana, you guys are about to get hit by your strongest storm of the day so far. We got 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds coming in. We also might start seeing more of a flooding risk unfold with this one because it's got a lot of rain coming into Bloomington right now. I'm loving this. The lightning, the thunder, the ambience. Yeah, I like the feeling right before a big storm too. And then here's that big storm coming through Bond, Clinton, and Madison counties. Still showing signs of 1-inch hail coming into Greenville right now. We have a highly volatile 4 out of 5 severe weather outbreak underway right now across the mid-Mississippi Valley. There was some damage in Marine, Illinois. We've got some minor building damage out there on Lower Marine Road. And we're tracking a brand new severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag for Lincoln and St. Charles counties out there. And we're just continuing to watch this situation, as it unfolds. It's currently 3:43 on the East Coast. It's 2:43 Central. It's 19:43 Z. We've been on the air now for 2 hours and 14 minutes. And I do think that we're just now in the beginning stages of this very active day. We went early. We went live a little bit earlier than I think we would have if it wasn't for the tornado warning in St. Louis. That obviously pushed us on the air a little bit earlier than what we otherwise might have done. But we're definitely approaching maximum severe weather time. Hey, Black Hawk, thank you for the 20 gifted, and congrats to the people that now have free memberships. Joe Dirt, thanks for the super chat, says, what's it going to do east of Louisville in Henry County, Kentucky? Let's see here. East of Louisville in Henry County, Kentucky. You know what? Whatever happens in Louisville is pretty much what's going to happen where you are, so let's just do that. Let's just do Louisville. Louisville, Kentucky, okay? Severe weather risk is going to peak by about 4 p.m. today through 6 a.m.
A new PDS tornado warning
Oh,
has been
what?
issued.
Oh, hold on.
A new PDS tornado warning has been issued.
Wait. We're going to get back to this. What? Okay, there's a bug with my my system here. It's calling this a PDS tornado warning, but we have a PDS tornado watch, guys. Time to stand up. This is actually a bigger deal. The Storm Prediction Center just put out a very rare PDS tornado watch. You do not see this every day, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was not expecting this.
We got a PDS tornado watch, guys. This is a particularly dangerous situation.
PDS tornado watch out here in this area right here. So we have a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. Unfortunately, our graphics say warning. I will try to work on that, but the message is the same here. We've got a serious situation on our hands. Let me pull up the National Weather Service graphic, and we'll go based off of that while I try to quickly fix our other graphics. This is such a big deal. It broke our system. This happens so not often that our system doesn't even know how to handle it. This is not a common thing. Okay, so this is a PDS tornado watch. The Storm Prediction Center is saying several strong tornadoes are likely. Several strong tornadoes are likely. Scattered hail up to tennis ball size likely, and scattered wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour likely. This includes Memphis. This does pretty much include Clarksville, Tennessee. You're kind of outside of it. You're right on the edge of it, but it does definitely include Hopkinsville, Kentucky. It includes Evansville, Indiana. It includes Paducah, Cape Girardeau, Poplar Bluff, and all these areas. So this is a particularly dangerous situation. There is an 80% chance we'll see EF2 to EF5 tornadoes in this area. That's crazy. An 80% chance we'll see EF2 to EF5 tornadoes in this area. That is, once again, that's something that does not happen very often. You very rarely get PDS tornado watches.
Guys, we are most likely about to see. We are most likely about to see a level 5 out of 5 high risk in this area. I hate to say that, but that's just how it is, guys.
Here in Missouri, south of Warrensburg, for 2-inch hail. And then we're also saying, y'all watch out over here for Holden. So if you are just now tuning in, we do have a tornado watch out here, and it is a high-end tornado watch. Andy, you got anything to say about that? I need about 2 minutes. There you go. Thank you, Andy.
Yes, Ryan. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll take over for a couple minutes while you go do.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys. So currently, I'm watching the storm near Innsbruck, Missouri. That's just to the west of St. Louis. At the moment, a lot of the interesting area of rotation that could come together here is actually outside of the severe thunderstorm warning, or just on the south tip of it. So I would actually be really ready to shelter, and it's a good idea to start practicing doing that in Winsville, Darden Prairie, and New Mel, around Lake St. Louis on I-70 into the south. Of course, this area of concern could actually cross I-70. So if you know these areas that I'm talking about,
A new tornado warning has been issued.
For you, I don't have that capability right now. We don't have a tornado warning at the moment for that, but this signature to me looks a little bit more robust.
A new tornado
than both
warning
of the
has been
tornado
issued.
warnings we had for St. Louis proper earlier today. So I would definitely be ready for a tornado warning to be issued for this, just in case. If not, definitely prepare for severe thunderstorm winds that could come in. It'd probably be pretty gusty with a front that comes out in front of the storm before any rain falls on the south side there. It's one of those situations. So just in case, that is an area I'm watching. In addition to that, in western Missouri right now, we have the storm near Clinton, Missouri, in Henry County. You guys have had it pretty rough the last week or so. I know there have been a tornado that went through parts of Clinton, Missouri. There is another storm on your doorstep to the west. I've been watching that one for tornado potential over time here. However, at the moment, this looks like a hail dominated storm. The mechanisms that are favorable for hail production are slightly different from tornado production at their most optimal, but they can coincide. So we often look for hail signatures to be, the dominant mechanism, and then tornado signatures to be the dominant mechanism in two separate instances. Right now, I think this is a hailstorm. I haven't gone ahead and continued that. Y'all watch for a tornado as a result. But I would definitely be alert about the storm in Clinton, Missouri.
10 minutes until day 1 outlooks
We
update.
have some hailstorms as well to the north of that. These will stay outside of the Kansas City metro for now, and I think you guys should survive without a hailstorm today, more than likely at this point than not. Your friends to the south and east outside of the metro, though, are starting to see those hailstorms. We don't have a severe thunderstorm warning on the one near Pittsville, Missouri, northern Johnson County. However, I could see that one being warned. And we did get that tornado warning for O'Fallon and Wentzville. So I'm glad I talked about that. Let me see when that came through. So our new tornado warning at 2:49 p.m. So I was yapping a little bit through that, but we have had that in place for 1 minute now. I'm glad I talked about that. I guess I get to say that I nailed it this time. But we do have that warning now. It includes O'Fallon, Missouri here, and St. Peter's, all the way over to just outside of St. Charles, downtown St. Charles, in northwestern St. Louis Metro. So that storm is generally going to head to the east-northeast through O'Fallon, Wentzville, along I-70 in those regions. Those are the areas that need to take shelter. Those are the areas that are hearing the sirens. And those are the areas that got the y'all watch for a tornado. That is a 10-minute lead time on that, and a couple of instances of talking about it on the stream. So hopefully that was helpful. Heads up. That's what I'm trying to do with those early warnings. So let me take a little bit of a closer look here. Again, Wentzville, Lake St. Louis, O'Fallon. You guys are in the path of that tornado warning there. And I'd say that we had a pretty good early warning on that. Pretty good nailed it, huh, Brian?
Yes. Thank you so much, Andy. You absolutely nailed it again. And now we've got a tornado warning for O'Fallon. That's St. Charles and Warren counties. We've got 288,000 people that need to be taking shelter right now. And there's 69 of you guys checking in right now from within that warning. But your rotation is back here south of Wright City. And that's going to be moving up towards Wentzville, O'Fallon, and St. Peter. So take shelter now, especially if you're the user that just chimed in saying the sirens are going, time to head for the garage. Daggone it. Do not go to the daggone garage, okay? This is a basement kind of storm, not a garage kind of storm, all right, Wentzville? This is going to be a dangerous one as it comes through. This is one of the more concerning rotation signals that we've seen all day, and that's a sign of things to come. They're just going to keep getting more and more concerning, okay? Again, down here in the Illinois area, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Clay and Richland counties coming into Olney. We've got strong winds
6
coming
minutes
in to this area right
till
now.
day
So please
one,
take,
guys.
shelter
We're about to
indoors,
find
away
out
from
if they're
windows
going to
over
issue
there.
a high
The
risk or
current
not.
situation is that we have 1 tornado warning, 10 severe thunderstorm warnings, and we have these tornado watches that are starting to come out as well. If you're just now tuning in and you haven't heard us talk about it yet, we've got a very, very significant situation unfolding outside of the tornado warning, just from this tornado watch that we have. Hold on, let me pull up this this graphic again. Tornado watch in effect until 11 p.m. for a lot of southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, northeast Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, southwest Indiana. Several strong tornadoes are going to be likely tonight. Tennis ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. This is going to be a rare PDS tornado watch. It's a particularly dangerous situation. These are going to be life-threatening monster tornadoes tonight. Not saying that to scare you. I'm just telling you how it is. That's this is very rare that we get a PDS tornado watch. So every single storm that pops up inside of this area tonight, we're going to be hyper focusing on, and we're going to be very, very, respectful of. We're taking shelter for every tornado warning today and not disregarding any of them. And if you know anybody out there, please consider sharing our stream with them. We're going to be on the air completely commercial free and free of charge all night. All right. So if you've got somebody that out there that might need the coverage, we've got some of the best storm chasers in the world down there as well. And the Y'all Squad is stationed nearby to deploy immediate disaster relief to people who may need it. Consider sharing our stream out there on Facebook and stuff, or in a text message to a family member or friend so that we can do those things at a higher efficiency. This is going to be a very dangerous night. We've known it's going to be a big day for a while now, but that tornado watch being a PDS watch is something that kind of starts ringing a different kind of alarm bell. Once again, Wentzville and O'Fallon, you guys are under a tornado warning right now. And that means you need to be taking shelter immediately. You need to be taking shelter immediately. Let's go back down here to this tornado y'all watch in Missouri, east of Urich. There is some more rotation starting to come together here. And that's coming up towards Highways 13 and areas south of Windsor. There's no tornado warning on that, but y'all watch out. We might need one here in the near future. Yeah, this is a breaking development with our PDS tornado watch out there in portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley. Do we have any storms out there yet? Not really. We do have a couple of blips. And you can see a lot of our storm chasers have kind of went down here to investigate. But man, look at the wind. The wind is just ripping down here. And the sun is still out. So the sun's out, the instability is rising. Whatever storm does get going out here is going to be pretty nasty. We got a severe thunderstorm warning back here for Allen and Neosho and Wilson counties as well in Kansas. Zooming back out to the region here. I just want to give everybody an update again on what's going on here. We've got a major escalation going on right now with a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch that's just been issued for 6 states. This includes parts of Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri, and Tennessee until 11 p.m. Central. This means that conditions are prime for multiple strong to intense tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center is giving this a 80% chance of producing EF2 to EF5 tornadoes. That is absolutely plumb wild. Here's what it looks like out there in St. Charles County, Missouri, as a big storm comes in. I'm going to go back down into our tornado warning because that hook is starting to look a little bit more impressive as it gets closer to the radar here. I don't think we can see it from any of our cameras, but man, this is a nasty-looking storm as it comes into Wentzville. This is our first storm of the day, in my opinion, that's got a real look to it that looks like it could produce a tornado imminently. The one that went through St. Louis definitely had a similar kind of appearance, but the rotation here is a little bit stronger. We've had a little bit more time for that instability to rise. Should I go outside?
Pretty major stuff going on right now, guys.
Are you kidding me? Do not go outside and go live if you're under a tornado warning. What are we doing?
I might be put under a tornado watch here in a second.
Aiden, I don't know if you're aware, but a PDS tornado watch was issued. And I believe it includes you. It's a 8080 PDS severe, or sorry, PDS Tor watch.
Yeah, it does include me.
A huge shout out to Black Hawk for the
No,
gifted.
wait, hold on, I need to check.
And congrats to all the new members here. Sorry, I'm just getting my bearings straight. We've got a lot going on here, as you can imagine.
No, I think it's two or
The town of
three
Troy, you
counties
guys
to
are
the
fine.
west, but
storm's
they
to
might
your east. There is
extend
a
it.
strong storm, though, attached to the rotating part of the storm down there.
Yeah,
near
because I have a
Wentzville. It's
pretty
going up toward
significant
Brookfield.
tornado
In
risk.
St. Charles counties, you guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning for the next 30 minutes.
You know, you're about to be surprised what I'm about to say. I don't think they actually upgraded it to a high risk, but they should have if they're going to end up putting that kind of props on a tour watch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I agree with that by far.
We do have that tornado warning for St. Charles County.
I ended up, after seeing the low-level jet coming into place right in time with the mid-level jet, everything coming into place, no over-convection, none of that.
Now is a good
I
time, to,
went ahead and issued my unofficial outlook and my unofficial outlook for the first time ever, and this is dead serious. I have laid down a 45 SIG-3 tour.
Shelter with your naked head. All right, even for you, Mom.
Good choice. I've already done that.
Baseball helmet, something like that. That's going to be
and believe it or not, I laid mine right on top of that PDS tornado watch. Let's see.
Right now, we have exactly 1 tornado warning and 7 severe thunderstorm warnings. We think things are about to get a lot more intense here soon. But the reason we're focused so much on this storm is because it's the most life-threatening one that we have right now. What's the difference between a regular watch and a PDS watch? The difference is that we've got more. So a tornado watch means that we've got ingredients in place for potential tornadoes, right?
Of course it didn't change.
The PDS watch is kind of like a level above that. It's a particularly dangerous situation. There's a greater chance for considerable damage from the kinds of tornadoes that are possible in the environment down where the PDS watch is today.
This severe thunderstorm warning for northern Henry and southeastern Johnson counties looks very, very strong, and it does have it's starting to have a kind of a supercell characteristic later on.
Watches are dangerous, right? You're in a dangerous spot.
You know what I bet you they do?
But if you are in a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch, that means that you need to be a little bit extra hyper vigilant.
You know, I bet you something, Aiden. I bet the SPC goes back and upgrades it to a high risk.
And don't forget your shoes. Yes, if you're getting your tornado safe spot ready right now,
most likely
that you should probably have in there is shoes, or you should at least be wearing shoes when you get in there, because it is very possible that if you take on damage, you'll have to evacuate your home. And you'll have to potentially climb over splintered wood, glass, nails, and stuff like that. And you don't want to do that in your Crocs, your socks, or your flip-flops.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. This honestly could easily be one of those days that gets close to the tornado count as April 27th, 2011. I mean, it could easily do that.
No. Absolutely not. It will never get even close to that.
Watch you say that and it does.
Trust me. The SCP parameter is not that high. It's high, but not that high.
And this could easily, you know, this has to be the highest.
Didn't you do it for Trey?
Tornado, or the highest tornado setup we've had this year. I mean, it has to be. I mean, 99% of the time, other times we've had a good tornado setup this year. We've had over convection. This time we don't have
If you're just
that.
not tuning in, we do have a tornado warning for St. Charles County. That's Wentzville to O'Fallon to St. Peters. This is going to be in effect for the next 30 minutes. We need you to take shelter. Speaking of Louisville, Kentucky, we
Good thing I'm not chasing today.
And your severe risks today.
Well, hell, you're damn near in the moderate. I wouldn't even chase. I would just sit there at the house.
The biggest problem is going to be wind in Louisville, Kentucky. We've got a lot of shear. We've got plenty of spin potential, but we're not going to have a whole lot of storm energy because by the time the storms get there, they're not going to have access to as much energy as the.
And who was saying they wouldn't get tornadoes about give or take a week ago?
Possible, and a few brief spin tornadoes are also going to be possible.
Don't tell me I didn't warn you.
Time for severe weather is going to be likely starting at around 8 p.m. and lasting all the way through 3 a.m. So 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. That's when Louisville, Kentucky is going to be most, notably under threat for severe weather.
You know what I found funny about this whole entire risk? Aiden, you know what I found funny about this risk?
What? The taco analogy.
It shifted north. It was at first it was right where you are, and then it shifted north, and then on day one it shifted back south. Like, can you make up your goddamn mind where you want to put the fucking moderate?
We've got this analogy where if you're under
the fucking models, they can't always depend off the damn models.
Right, you could potentially have tacos, but the tortillas are.
And if they would stop being stubborn assholes and look at the fucking damn meso-analysis, which they should do, then they would have probably went ahead and issued the 30% tour.
Having tacos, like it's not like tacos are there.
Two-inch
It's just
size
ingredients
tail
are
for
there,
the
and
severe
tacos could
thunderstorm
happen.
that continues.
Now, if you start
Missouri,
gathering those ingredients, you start putting them on the table, and you start constructing a taco. In real time, now that we have a taco warning. Okay,
everybody is like,
because you're taking advantage of the ingredients and you are.
Everybody is saying high risk.
That is a taco warning.
I mean, hell, even the SPC, even the SPC said themselves that they likely wouldn't issue a PDS tornado watch unless they issue a high risk.
You've made your taco and you've also just added.
So I don't know what the fucking point is. If they're gonna issue a PDS tornado watch, if they're gonna say that, then people are gonna automatically think high risk.
I can't think of anything else to put that into the analogy.
And was that a new tornado warning? I don't think so.
Yeah, we're talking about ghost pepper tacos.
We could expect
Diablo
the
sauce.
PDS, multiple PDSs and
so yeah,
like one or two emergencies.
No, at least one Tory is almost certain today. I mean, you don't get in this kind of populated area. You don't get a storm without a Tory on this type of day. I mean, it's
PDS tornado watch right now.
Lows in the lower 60s.
Watch them pull the high risk after the 3 p.m. advisory. I can give them this though. They did expand the 10 sig tour
pretty quickly. We've got some
down into central West Tennessee.
It's corresponding with some sunshine, which has allowed for a lot of destabilization to happen.
They did expand the 10 sig 2 tour further south. But
we do have a tornado warning right now in the O'Fallon area of Missouri, and we're encouraging everyone to take shelter out here.
I'm guessing connection problems again.
And yes, this is going to be a very dangerous storm for our friends in and around St. Louis too. I want to make sure that we let you guys know in St. Louis that we're not done talking about you. It's also still going to be dangerous in St. Louis. Just because it's going to be extra, just because we're going to have extra spicy.
When I seen that PDS tornado watch, I swore up and down that we're going to issue the high risk. Okay,
Doesn't mean
that's
that we're
fun.
not going to have spicy tacos in St. Louis. Okay, so you guys are still very much in the threat zone. In fact, it looks like that boundary layer has lifted quite a bit north, so you guys are back in the destabilization process. And any storm that hits you later tonight is going to have the ability to produce intense tornadoes as well. There's just an especially
Let me see what
volatile
they say in the
environment
discussion.
developing down here to your south that needs extra special attention. I'm coming down here to the Columbia, Missouri storm, where there is a little bit of rotation over here near the University of Missouri. Columbia, you guys need to be watching out for some rotation, but the main thing right now is 1-inch hail in Boone and Moniteau counties out here in Missouri. Yeah, this is going to be a very dangerous day. If you know somebody that lives out here on the PDS watch, you got to call them and let them know. I talk about this all the time, but if you're watching this right now, you're probably your family's weather person. Okay? You're probably your family's weather person. People call you when they want to know about the weather, right? You are the guy that is always watching the weather, who loves storms. If you're watching the Ryan Hall y'all YouTube live stream before the storms have even formed down here, you're that guy. I know you are. You are what I call a weather weenie. Okay? Here's your opportunity to be that guy very early. If you know somebody out here in Jonesboro, Memphis, West Tennessee, Western Kentucky, Southern Illinois, Southeast Missouri, call them and let them know the seriousness of the situation with the PDS tornado warning, okay? We're not trying to scare anybody, but sometimes people get comfortable, especially in Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky. I know how it is. Tornado watch? Okay, maybe I'll mow my grass tomorrow then. Some people literally have that mindset, and honestly, good. It's better to be nonchalant most of the times rather than paranoid. But today is going to be a different kind of day. Okay, we do need people to be a little bit more hyper vigilant, I guess, when it comes to these storms. And not everybody's going to get hit. There's going to be some places out here in West Tennessee that don't get hit by a storm at all today. It's the discrete nature of the cells that's actually going to allow them to become potentially killer tornado-producing storms. So again, we're not trying to scare anybody. We're not trying to overhype anything. But if tornadoes do get going down here, they're going to be very bad, and there's no need to gatekeep or keep that information internal. You know what I'm saying? And also, huge shout out to Black Hawk 955 once again for the over 100 gifted memberships. That's awesome. Look at the blip shape. Yeah, we do have blips starting to pop up out here near Cape Girardeau. Look at this. This tiny little storm already looks like a daggone supercell. Notice how all the storm chasers are literally going down Interstate 55 right now. All these guys were just in St. Louis, and there's a parade of storm chasers on Interstate 55 going to Cape Girardeau right now. Speaking of St. Louis, on the northwest side, we still do have a tornado warning here for 17 more minutes. We've got rotation between St. Paul and O'Fallon. Take shelter for the next 17 minutes. This is a dangerous storm. Yeah, so a PDS watch, it means that we've got a particularly dangerous situation watch. It's not a warning. It's an enhanced watch issued whenever we've got unusually dangerous conditions before storms fully play out. The environment is primed for serious tornadoes. Apparently, Black Hawk is up to 350 gifted subs. Is that
A new tornado watch has been issued.
Dude, that's insane.
A new tornado watch has been issued.
Huge shout out to Black Hawk. And again, guys, sorry, I've got a lot going on here. I'm organizing a bunch of information. Right now, we're still in the early stages of getting this couple of documents here, some information.
They just extended that PDS tornado watch into southern Illinois and southwest Indiana.
That we're going to have to provide with the PDS watch that's coming out. Right now is a good time to take care of tornado warning. I fear that might be the lowest number that we'll see all day. But this does go on for 17 more minutes. You got your hook down here south of St. Paul going up towards Firma. If you see your dot on the map, or if you don't see your dot on the map, you can put it on there.
They didn't extend it, but it was already there, but the other tornado watch was overlapping it.
Chris, I'm still wondering, why did they not pull the high if they pulled a PDS Tor watch?
There's 3.5 million people
No
in
clue.
PDS tornado watch. Evansville, Madisonville, Hopkins.
They even said themselves before the new probabilities came out that the PDS tornado watch was likely going to be reserved for high risk. I don't know what the hell the point that is if they're not going to put a high risk. It kind of seems like to me that the SPC is doing the same thing as the NWS with EF5s. They're trying to gatekeep the high risk, it looks like.
Of storm chasers. One of these days it's going to lead to something bad.
Even though that I know that they can go back in an intermediate advisory and issue the high risk, I mean, it's not that hard.
If you're just now tuning in, we have an active tornado warning right now for St. Charles County in Missouri. Radar indicates rotation near St. Paul. Viewers in O'Fallon are telling us in the chat right now that the sirens are still sounding, so don't wait until you see the storm get to your lowest floor away from windows right now. And then down to the south, where we don't have any warnings currently, right here in Arkansas and portions of Kentucky, southern Illinois, West Tennessee, southeast Missouri, we've got an 80% chance of strong EF2 to EF5 tornadoes today. The environment is absolutely primed. I don't, honestly, a lot of people are asking when the last PDS tornado watch was. I don't know. It's been a little bit since we've had one. They're quite uncommon. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning out here for Jerseyville now. This is Calhoun, St. Charles, St. Louis County. This is for the tornado warned storm. The forward flank of it is producing 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds as it goes up towards Jerseyville. So y'all need to get indoors and away from windows out here too. In Boone County, Missouri, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning right now for 1-inch hail. That's coming into Columbia. Columbia, Missouri, you guys are getting in on your hail and wind right now. This is what it looks like out there in Columbia, Missouri. this is what it looks like out there in St. Peter's. You can see the heavy rain and the hail back here, and then the dark cloud out in front of it. The storm's coming right towards this camera. By the way, we also have a considerable damage threat, severe thunderstorm warning for Lawrenceville, Illinois. You've got golf ball size.
A new tornado warning
right
has
now.
been
Somebody
issued.
said, "How we looking, boss?" Not great. Not great.
A new tornado warning.
All right,
has
so
been
they
issued.
decided to go ahead and continue that tornado warning up here into Alton. St. Charles, Jersey, and Madison counties. You guys are not now under a tornado warning. It's time to take shelter. Once again, Calhoun, Illinois, Jersey, Illinois, Madison, Illinois, St. Charles, and St. Louis counties in Missouri. We've got a tornado warning out here for 210,000 people. We're talking about a lot of different places here, including St. Peter's, Alton, Jamestown, Godfrey, Wood River, and East Alton. Alton. But we do have a storm that's very capable of producing a tornado right here. You see this hook? That right there is what you don't want to see near O'Fallon. That's gaining intensity on its way up towards St. Peter's, Sea Barger, and places like Elsa and Alton. We've got to be taking shelter right now. This is a dangerous situation. It's one of our more impressive looking storms of the day so far. To be fair, we're just getting started, but it's still very impressive. Wow, Black Hawk just did 50 more. That's got to be some sort of record. I don't think anybody's ever did that many gifted memberships at one time. That's nuts. Shout out to Black Hawk. Brittany says, thanks for all you and Ryan do at the Y'all Squad. This many days in a row is insane. Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be live again tomorrow. And by the way, if you're one of the hundreds of people that has a free membership now, use those emotes. You've got access to our free or our custom emotes in the chat. Yeah, it's not done after today. Tomorrow, we also have a severe weather risk a little bit farther to the south. This is tomorrow's outlook. So an enhanced risk down here for Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. More storms possible up into Kentucky and Tennessee as well. This is what it looks like as our St. Peter storm comes in. I don't think we'll be able to see the tornado from here, but we'll definitely be able to see what's going on with the storm, as far as the intensity of the winds and stuff. So let me zoom back out again. I'm going to show you everybody. We've got a lot of people tuning in right now. A lot of people checking in on the WeatherWise app. That's all these little dots that you see. Those are real-time people checking in on the WeatherWise app right now, putting their dot on the map. I'm glad to see a lot of people are showing up in the PDS Tornado Watch. I'm also glad to see that we still got people watching from Springfield, Missouri, up to Springfield, Illinois, too, because this area is still going to be a big focus of today's outbreak. we're still not seeing too much development down here with these blips in the PDS watch, which is not good. The longer it takes for those to get going, the more energy they're going to have to work with. The storms back here south and east of Kansas City are starting to get their acts together. We really have to start watching these for some more tornadic activity as well.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Let's do a quick roundup of everything right after we talk to Andy and a special guest.
Hi, Ryan. Hi, guys. I have a special guest to introduce to you today, and it is Evan Bentley from the Storm Prediction Center. If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us your role.
Yeah, my name's Evan Bentley. I'm the warning coordination meteorologist here at the Storm Prediction Center, where we've got a busy day with ongoing severe weather.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, you guys just issued the PDS watch. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But before we do that, Evan, and it's how does the conditional intensity group work for your SPC products that you issue? You've got the tornado, we've got a double hatch on that, or a SIG 2, and Ryan's spouting all these terms, and the wind is SIG 0. Like, how does this exactly work? Because a lot of people haven't really adjusted to this new format that's now being put out publicly, and we're left wondering and interpreting ourselves, which leads to a lot of differences. So we'd like to clear that up for sure.
Yeah, so we've always had our probability part of our outlooks, which is how many tornadoes do we think will occur, within what areas, highlighting those areas where we think the most tornadoes will occur. And that'll always, and that continues to be there. In this case today, we have that 15% coverage, which shows up as red on our webpage, but that's where our highest probability of tornadoes is. Now we have the different crossed lines and the hatched lines on top of it, and those indicate just how strong those storms may be. So when we have that intensity level 1, we're saying that we could have some stronger storms, potentially EF2 to potentially maybe even a few EF3 tornadoes. Once we get up to that intensity level 2, now we're talking that we think
A
there
new
likely
tornado
will be
warning
EF3
has
or
been
intense
issued.
tornadoes within that zone, and there's even potential for tornadoes stronger than that within that area. And so this is really kind of a different piece, because actually, if you'll notice, in today's outlook, there across like northeast Arkansas, we only have a 5% probability of tornadoes. So that's on the lower end of what we can do for probabilities, but we have that intensity level 2. So right there, we're saying we aren't really sure if we'll have a tornado, but if we do, it could be very strong, potentially even EF3 or stronger strength. And so it kind of allows us to have a different communication on just how bad the storms might be, in addition to what we're already doing with the probabilities, which is how likely there is to be a tornado.
Nice. What about the wind outlook in particular that we have today too? Would you like to expand on that? Like, I think it has something to do with the storm mode that you guys are expecting.
Yeah, so we don't have any intensity highlights there. Now, that doesn't mean we don't think there's going to be strong winds. We actually have 45% coverage of strong winds. So we think, especially later this evening, once we develop a squall line, that we'll probably have some strong winds there, 60 to 70 miles per hour. But it is unlikely that we'll have as many of the hurricane force winds. The 80, 90 mile per hour wind gusts don't seem as likely in this environment. It's really kind of more bow echo type environments where we see those stronger winds. And we really aren't seeing that today. The primary focus is more on the supercellular mode, which is a big tornado problem, but not as much on the higher end of the wind.
Perfect. Yeah, makes total sense to me. Hopefully you guys think so as well. Brian, do you have any questions in particular for Evan and maybe the PDS watch and all that we've got to deal with?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Evan, right from the SPC, which is where we just got the PDS watch from. And I am going to focus on that a little bit, because there's a lot of people in chat who are interested in maybe some insight to what made this a PDS watch instead of a standard tornado watch. Can you give us some insight there?
Yeah, so I was actually, as I was walking through the operations area earlier today, I heard him having that conversation. Do we go PDS wording on this? And there was a discussion, and it's not just one decision. It's not just the lead forecaster who decided it. There's discussion amongst everybody in the operations area, and then there's discussion with the local forecast offices. Is this the right way we want to message it? So what is that message? Essentially, with a PDS watch, we're saying a particularly dangerous situation. So not just an everyday tornado watch or everyday severe thunderstorm watch, because we can do it for that as well, But really, especially today, we are particularly concerned about strong to intense tornadoes. And just a little bit of context here. So I actually looked specifically for, if we look down in Paducah's area, McCracken County there, the last time that there was a PDS tornado watch in that area was actually on April 2nd of last year, which is a day that had 6 EF3 tornadoes. If you look before that, it was on March 14th of last year, on a day when we had 10 EF3 plus tornadoes. Before that, the last time we had one was on May 26, 2024, a day with 4 EF3 tornadoes. And before that, the last time there was a PDS tornado watch was March 31st of 2023. And at that time, we had 11 EF3 plus tornadoes. So I really say all that just to say, in the past, when a PDS tornado watch has been issued, it is on days that end up with a lot of strong to intense tornadoes. And that's what we're expecting here today.
Awesome. Obviously, we can see the bounds of the PDS watch on our map right here, but I'm not asking for street level specifications or anything like that. But can you give us any more insight of to where the highest confidence corridor is inside the watch, or is it pretty much just the entire area?
So it is most of that area, and that is part of the actual PDS part. When we're talking to the local forecast offices, we're massaging, hey, do we want these specific counties in this watch now with the PDS wording? Because there'll likely be other watches later. And so this was a consensus by the forecasters of these are the counties with the greatest threat. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a differing threat throughout, especially on the timing side. They're in the western part, the Boot Hill, Missouri, southern Illinois. That'll likely be in the evening time frame into the late evening, and it might actually continue overnight as we get into the eastern part of that PDS tornado watch area there. And that's one other piece that I want to note is that it might seem like we're at dinner time and maybe not a lot has happened. We actually have somewhat, we call them veered winds across western part of Missouri. So those initial supercells may not be all that tornadic. It might be later this evening when the low level jet ramps up and the storms get farther east in the better environment that we really see things start to get going. So don't want anyone to let their guard down. If you're watching this and really it doesn't seem like it's materializing yet, there's still a lot of time for it too, and we really don't expect it to until the 8, 10, 11 o'clock time frame this evening.
And what if any, is the biggest uncertainty that could change the outcome down here? Do you have any insight there?
Yeah, so that's something we're watching. I'll start up on the northern edge. St. Louis is right in the zone where there's an outflow boundary that has really kind of been draped right across the city. And it's actually starting to lift a little bit farther north, which has me concerned because if that warm air gets right up into there, that could be a pretty significant problem for them as we move into the evening. But then farther south, it's how many storms are we going to get? The environment looks really good. On all the models we're looking at, the certainty is high that, hey, we've got an environment that is very favorable for strong tornadoes. How many supercells do we get in that environment? Now, as we're looking at it now, it looks like we've got some storms starting to form in that area. It certainly looks like we're probably going to get some supercells trying to develop even here potentially by the early evening. And that could be problematic.
Okay. Now, is there anything that, as somebody from the SPC, is there anything that you would love for local broadcasters or people like me on YouTube to stop saying today? Or have you even paid attention to how we're relaying this? Or what is there anything that you'd like to tighten up in our messaging here?
I'll just reinforce one of the things that I heard you saying just a little bit ago on the stream was just, living paranoid isn't a great way to live, but there's some days when it actually leaning that direction is probably the right call. And yeah, today is one of those days, especially if you're within this PDS tornado watch area. Today is not a day to just be nonchalant about tornado warning. I mean, lives will be at stake. And so it is very important that everyone has multiple ways to receive a warning. And if they're watching the stream, that they're paying close attention to when it's going to impact their area, and to make sure you know where your shelter is. And I'll put this call out: if you don't have adequate shelter, if you're in an area where you really will not be safe if a tornado strikes your home or strikes your wherever you're at this evening, it might be a good idea to make plans somewhere where you do, because having adequate shelter and the ability to get to that shelter quickly will be important this evening.
Okay, last question. People in our chat, they love action items. Okay, we tell them all the time, you're under this, you're under that, and it's like, okay, well, what now? If you had one piece of advice for the people tornado watch right now over the next 10 to 30 minutes before any warning is issued, what's something that they should do?
Yeah, so if you have a storm shelter, it's a good time to clean it out. Go grab the helmets that you for yourself or your children or anyone else in your family, and just make sure that you're prepared. The other thing that a lot of people don't think about: make sure you're wearing shoes, preferably shoes with a sole in them, because if you're unfortunately struck by a tornado, it is a very hostile environment afterwards with nails and boards, broken boards, etc. And so, even thinking about the aftermath piece, if I'm so unfortunate to be struck, am I prepared to deal with the aftermath?
All right. Thank you so much, Evan. I know you've got a busy day ahead of you, so we'll let you get back to it. Unless, Andy, you got anything else for him?
No, I think that's a really great call. I'm glad to have you on, Evan.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right, guys, that was Evan Bentley from the Storm Prediction Center. The Storm Prediction Center, for those of you who don't know, they're the ones that actually issue the SPC outlooks, the slight, enhanced, moderate, high risks of severe weather. They're the one that issue tornado watches. Anytime you've ever been under a tornado watch in your life, Storm Prediction Center is the one that issues it. It comes from that building that we were just looking at where the Evan was in. So we got some pretty good insight there from the direct source. Some of the best experts on severe weather in the country work at the Storm Prediction Center, and we got a lot of good information there. One of the reasons why we wanted to have him on is because we've got an upper echelon, 4 out of 5 moderate risk of severe weather. Let me pull that up again for you. This is going to be where we expect to see a lot of severe weather today from St. Louis down to Memphis. And then we also have that PDS tornado watch in place on top of that. Now, my graphic says PDS tornado warning. The reason it says that is because this is so rare, we haven't even had time to update our program to say watch instead of warning on these. But you get the message there, okay? If you're under that PDS tornado watch, you are under a serious threat for severe weather tonight. And we're encouraging you to take shelter for any warning that comes through. There's a lot of times where you're under a tornado watch in Kentucky or West Tennessee, and you just treat it like any other Tuesday. And it's not... I'm not for being paranoid about the weather, but like normally that's actually not a bad thing. As long as you take shelter when the warning comes through, there's no need to be paying attention or being hyper paranoid all the time. Today's different because we have the PDS tornado watch. I would actually drop everything. I would actually cancel plans and pay attention to the weather, because you don't want to be distracted if one of these cells gets going here and you went for a walk, or you went to have brunch, or dinner out at some loud restaurant, or you went to go see a movie. Like, I actually would just kind of stay hyper focused here on the radar and on the weather, and to make sure that you're not in the path of one of these dangerous supercells that's about to pop up. So yeah, I would cancel the plans for sure. I would drop everything.
A new flash flood warning has been issued.
Weather, because we have several strong tornadoes likely in this area today. We've got scattered hail up to tennis ball size likely, and scattered wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour likely, okay, for 3.5 million people from Poplar Bluff to Carbondale to Evansville to Hopkinsville to Jackson to Memphis to Jonesboro. And if you know anybody in that big watch there, now is the time to call them and let them know what's going on, okay? If somebody is really not concerned about the weather, they probably don't even know that they're under a PDS watch right now, and it's up to you to tell them. So call them, tell them what's going on, tell them the difference, tell them how to pay attention. You can be like, hey, text me if you need anything, or I'm going to actually create a group text message with everybody right now, and I'm going to send you radar screenshots, okay? And you're going to read every message, okay? And you're going to listen to what I'm saying. And you'll be the family meteorologist today as we all get through this together. So this is the latest on that. I'm going to go back to the radar because we've got stuff popping off right now. Okay, we've been talking about when stuff pops off. Well, stuff is popping off right now out here in Madison and St. Louis counties. We do have a tornado warning for Alton. You guys need to stay sheltered for the next 21 minutes. Your rotation and your hook is right down here near Wilkie. Moving up towards Dessous. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, brunch at 5 p.m., that's an East Kentucky thing, maybe. Maybe you don't do that in West Kentucky. I don't know. But Andy's got a bunch of y'all watches. He's got a high confidence y'all watch up here for Rawls County and Pike County in Missouri and Illinois. This storm out here between Perry and New London does not have a warning on it. There's no warning on it. But it probably will get one here in probably something like 5